I'm gonna run to the restroom real
now
quick.
you run into the restroom.
Sorry.
Okay, hurry. I'm gonna play this song.
Yeah, that's what I was the whole time like, oh shoot, how am I gonna go for 3 hours or 2 hours, whatever.
All right, well, I'm gonna go get something to drink too, but I'll be right back.
Hey.
I'm the only one here. I can take over now.
No, I'm here.
Aww.
No.
Okay. Apple is adding support for the Xbox One S and PlayStation DualShock controllers for Apple Arcade. What's Apple Arcade?
Who cares?
What's that?
Okay, so basically, you're going to be able to... Are you going to be able to use your Xbox or PlayStation? Apple TV? Not going to be able to do that.
The music is super loud.
Yeah, sorry.
That's how it is.
It won't be on for long.
I know.
Let's see.
Actually, fine.
All right, sending out the bat signal.
Uh-oh.
Bat signal's out.
Yeah, I got the notification.
All right, I think we are good here. Evan, what up, Evan? Everybody say hi. Let's get this thing working here. Going live to our faces. Here we are. Let's make sure that chat's working. Somebody send something in the chat. Why does Matt keep disappearing?
Why am I disappearing?
No. I'm gonna just reset this part here. There you are. Alright. Evan, Gav, Chop. What up, Chop?
There's like a slight delay between what I'm actually doing and what I see on the screen, so it's like...
Oh, you're weird.
Oh yeah. There's a,
You're weird. Alright.
Alright, get rid of that music.
It's gone.
Thank you.
It's gone. It's gone. Whoa.
It's like in between movements at the symphony. If you go to the symphony, everyone like coughs. Sorry, that's a very sophisticated joke. Never mind.
That's too smart for me. Sorry.
I didn't mean to sound like
We don't all
whatever.
watch Frasier. Actually, I do watch Frasier.
Frasier's awesome.
Gotta fix his hair. Oh no, because
Oh
it's
no,
backwards.
the awesome hair. What happened?
I know. It's because I
Oh,
was looking at it
man.
backwards.
Oh man,
So I, like,
you ruined it.
messed it all up.
Do you do your hair backwards so it looks correct on camera backwards?
No.
That would be pro level. Podcast.
No,
Yeah.
I just pick whichever side looks best.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
let's see, which side is my good side? I can't remember.
Turn around.
Oh, this is the bad sideburn.
Both
This
sides.
is the bad sideburn. Yeah, like it's all wonky. I can never get it looking right. This is the good side. See, which is so. I guess anyway, whatever.
All right.
Check 1 2 1 2. You are hearing me talk.
Welcome to the part of the show where we talk about
Hair products.
fashion.
Yeah, this is the one thing you get. If you listen to the audio version, you don't get this part.
Right,
yeah.
right.
It's big, pre-show. I don't know why I'm super contrasty. Well, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, you're all right. Is everybody rolling yet? What up, Billy?
I'm rolling now. Yes.
Billy's here. Yay!
Yeah,
Oh, Billy.
Sure.
All right. Just keep the waveform up to one of those while we're rolling, if you can, somewhere, just in case it decides to crash or something. But if it does, we'll just pause and rewind. We'll be fine.
Sure. Well.
All right, everybody rolling?
Yeah.
I am rolling. Yes.
All right, cool. We're gonna do a clap for sync. It'll be 1, 2, 3, clap. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, I think we're ready to do this.
Getting all loose. Ready to go.
All right, so for the intro, I'll say what's up, blah, blah, blah. I'm Dave. Matt will say I'm Matt. He's going to introduce you, and then you'll say, hey, what's up, everybody? Just something real short, and then I'll go into my big spiel for the intro of the show. And so we'll be good.
Okay, I know the drill.
Cool. All right, here we go. What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
I'm Matt, and joining us today is our good friend, Julie Kraft.
Hi, friends.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, Mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. And you can email us, info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show, even if it's, concerns, grievances, anything like that. But no, honestly, we need emails about show topic ideas. We want some really good show topic ideas from everybody. I know people are in the Slack and stuff like that, but emails, we love getting emails. There's just something cool about that. You know, you can do a nice 1 or 2 paragraph rant, something like that.
Makes us feel cool.
Makes us feel cool that we got an email. Oh, I get a lot of email. Doesn't make me feel cool. But
yeah, every time I get spam, I feel so awesome.
yeah, I just go to my spam folder sometimes if I need to pick me up. Yeah.
There's so many. There's like promotions, like Google, how it separates all of them, like promotions and all that stuff.
I used to go through and read spam on an old show that I did, and I would like play like funny background music, like I don't know. Yeah, no, I would play Songbird or whatever it is from Kenny G or Bird Song or whatever it is.
That's right. So some background saxophone music.
Yeah.
Okay, that is ridiculous that you know the name of the Kenny G song.
Well, I had to have it for the soundboard, you know.
Oh man, that's funny.
I mean, doctor's office music, right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably know that whole Kenny G album, you know, because I was raised on it, but I could not tell you a single song title.
But everybody knows, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, right?
It's probably the same with Enya.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know any Enya song names.
Sail away, sail away, sail away. Yeah.
Orinoco Flow.
I'm assuming that one's called Sail Away.
No, it's called Orinoco Flow.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Man, that's pretty good.
I'm a closet Enya fan. So. Watermark and Orinoco Flow, yeah.
And there's that other one.
And the Lord of the Rings songs, like May It Be from Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We cry every time.
So, Julie, you are going to Camp Mograph, correct?
I am going to Camp Mograph. And everyone should go to Camp Mograph. Well, not everyone, but you know, mostly everyone. Everyone who wants to go should. I'm totally going.
I'm actually like a little bit curious. Where did you hear about Camp Mograph originally? Yeah, like was it Instagram or was it show? Was it Billy? Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool. he mentioned it before. I think even you had like all the social media stuff out, because I think he was you're looking for I don't know, like not chaperones, but
counselors.
Counselors. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't officially announced
children,
that yet, but
yeah.
Counselors. Yeah, you're looking for counselors, and he was asking about it, but that's kind of before we all knew what it was. So.
Oh, I can't wait until we announce our lineup of counselors. We're going to be doing that pretty soon, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
What exactly is a counselor? What do they do at Camp Mograph?
They're mostly there just to answer questions
Security.
and to hang out with everyone. You know, yeah, security.
Yeah.
Make sure if anyone gets out of line, we got someone to kind of throw some fists down.
No, not so much that. I mean, it's nice to have people
I don't
there.
expect anyone to get out of line.
No.
People you know and trust that you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
can help if something's out
Yeah.
of the ordinary.
I mean, mostly,
Yep.
I think people are going to be really excited to see who the counselors are when we get to that point and show like the full lineup. But yeah, they're there so you know, you can hang out with them and stuff, obviously, but also there in case, you know, something comes up, if you need to get a hold of someone, whatever, they're there. We did finish our early bird special sale
Yes.
on Friday, so that is officially over. So now you have to pay full price. Sorry, you missed out. We got a great little influx. I think some people were waiting to find out if they could actually get a ticket to Blend before they bought a ticket to Camp Mograph, because they're very close.
Yeah.
So, you know.
There's so much happening on.
Did you get a ticket to Blend? Oh,
Oh no.
we lost you. Oh boy. Hold on. Well, that was quick.
Am I still here?
Oh, you're here.
There you are.
I'm here.
There
I'm
you
here.
are. Cool. I don't know what
Right.
happened.
My
Hey,
internet speed is super fast right now. I don't know what's going on.
Hmm.
did you? So did you get a ticket to Blend?
Yeah, I got a ticket to Blend, and actually all 8 of us at Boxfort got tickets. So
That's awesome.
we're super lucky, and I don't know
Yeah.
how it happened because we all thought we wouldn't get tickets. Yeah, we all got tickets to Blend, so we're going to half res.
Now, can you tell
then a
me
day
what
later we're
Blend
going to
is
Blend.
exactly? Because like I
Oh,
keep
sure.
hearing Blendfest, and I have no idea. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if it's something that I'd be even interested in.
Yeah, I went to Blend 2 years ago, actually. They've had it 3 times. I went to, they do it every 2 years. It's in Vancouver. Do you know what Wine After Coffee is? J.R. Cronest's
I
thing?
don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like kind of his, I think while he was at Giant Ant, he like started Wine After Coffee, which was like a Vimeo group just for like animators to post stuff and get feedback and everything. It was, I don't know
Okay.
what year that was. It was pretty early on. And I think at one point he asked like, hey, if we did a conference, how would you feel about it? And everyone was like super into it. So they started a conference. I would say it's more,
Wow. Wine After
as far as
Coffee has
this-
118,000 followers on Vimeo.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow, I thought everyone knew about that. But
No.
so yeah, they started that, and so Blend is kind of like, I would say like the art style of most people that go is more leans toward the illustrated style and cell animators and so forth, or many of the guests are more towards that. But they had Andrew Kramer last time, so I mean, no,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not necessarily. But I just because of the style, usually the style of their titles and the style of like all their branding is a little more illustrator based, though it's actually 3D, more 3D this year.
Yeah.
So just that aesthetically, but besides that, it's a conference, but I say it's very very less. It's very non-technically focused. It's much more about inspiration. Sure, people show their work, but they talk more about the process, or just how to communicate with clients, or like, just honest things, just things that studios go through. Like who spoke last year? One of the studios that spoke last year was talking about how like they were having a hard time, and like so Giant Ant helped them out and like hired a couple of their people for a few months or so just to help them out because they couldn't really pay them. And
That's
there's
cool.
it's a very nice like community sort of thing. Everyone's really honest and then shares about everything. So yeah, it's
I
just
love
another
Vancouver.
Conference, but
I feel like
not just another conference, but it's like a different flavor of conference.
Yeah.
I learn about a new conference and a new site and a new person almost every single day. It's really funny.
I know.
It's like,
Yep.
oh, here's a person you've never heard of, but they have 1 million followers. It's like, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
You know?
Who's Julie Kraft? Like, who's this person?
So I wanted to quickly just 2 more quick things about Camp Mograph, and then I'd like to get into talk about some like Mograph Mondays and stuff. So we added a sponsor this week, which would be Otoy, actually, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So Otoy is officially sponsoring as well. If you missed the early bird special or the discounted price, then good news. You just have to make a ridiculous animation and enter our contest, and you will get that early bird pricing. Now, the winner will get a free ticket. The other people, and now, okay, here's the thing. I know everybody's like, oh, it's Camp Mograph, and if I can't go to Camp Mograph, why would I do this contest? Well, because we're kind of like making this a fun little music video thing. So if you want to do a daily with Monkey Legs, go to mograph.com/monkeylegs and listen to this song. It's written by me, and the audio is by David Ariev. He wrote the lyrics and sang the lyrics on his iPhone. And it is now available on Spotify and on iTunes, and you can Shazam it, and it's like on like all the major music platforms at this point.
You can actually Shazam it?
You can actually Shazam Monkey Legs, and it will come up. But we would like a 4 to 8 bar piece, loopable or not, whatever, your format of choice. For Monkey Legs, we're going to string them all together when we're done into the music video if we get enough entries. Hopefully. I'm really trying to push it this week. I really want to get some Monkey Legs animations because I want us to get weird and have this music video, and I think it'll like be, I don't know, I think it'll be kind of fun. So there's that.
So if you want that early bird pricing.
I finally watched the Monkey Legs thing, or I'd listened to the song today. Good job.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, I know, but, you know, why not? Why not?
It's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
A couple of quick things from the week. Just met with an accountant this week about some things, and I've got some interesting information I'll be talking about later. Yeah.
All right.
It's nice. We've been doing some restructuring of things, and it's interesting to see what the accountant has to say as opposed to like, not opposed to, I'm sorry. It's interesting to hear what the accountant has to say about certain things that you hear motion designers ask all the time. And I had a really good conversation with the accountant about how hard it is to be in this industry, different people, different countries, different states, different situations, and how he's surprised to learn that motion designers are having so much trouble sometimes trying to figure out accounting stuff, I guess. So I'm hoping that maybe at some point we could, I don't necessarily think get him on the show, but maybe some sort of write-up or something that's like helpful for people who are getting started, who are looking for that direction to go with their accountant, with structuring their business. The other things that I had on the list for this week, first of all, if anybody knows how to adjust context menus in Windows easily, you know when you right-click and you get a mess of like 100 things and all you want to find is the open with? Yeah. I would love to know if there's something that makes that easier. I found a couple things online, but it's all like registry edit junk.
Oh, yeah.
It's awful.
Reg edit.
Reg edit. It makes me nervous just typing that into the command line, but...
It's hilarious how normal it is to just do normal things in Windows. Like, oh yeah, you just edit the registry. I mean, yeah, you could kill everything easily.
Yeah, you can totally crash your entire computer. No, it's fine.
It's because Windows is for professionals.
Right. I
say that, but
I right click and it's like, do you want to add this to your something app in this thing with this compression that you've never heard of before? Like, no, I just want an open with button and I want my Dropbox options and maybe properties. And I want to be able to just customize that and take all the junk out, but I don't know. So 3 other things I think on here. Number 1, I have a new pet peeve.
Is it After Effects?
No,
I've had that
I
one
do.
for a while.
Well, I do have an After Effects rant, but if you want, but
I'll tell you all about mine. Let's hear about yours.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you about this first. So. You're going to notice exactly what I'm talking about. But in commercials right now, there's a fad that has been going on for way too long. And I'm guilty of it too. Back in like 2012, I did this, but people are still doing it.
Ukuleles?
No, not hand claps and ukuleles.
Okay.
But when a commercial starts and you hear, this is so-and-so. So-and-so does this. Like, I'm telling you, everybody does this.
I've done so many explainer videos that start off that way.
This is Dave. Okay? Yeah. Like, can we come up with something a little, like every commercial? This is John. He gets his tax accounting services from blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, let's go a little bit beyond that at some point. Anyway, After Effects Here's what I'm not liking right now. First of all, I came across, apparently this is a bug, according to Matt. I don't know, a parenting issue. There's a parenting issue where, when you select a parent, you put something where it needs to go, you have it attached to the parent, and then it moves from there. Billy, chicken.
Yeah.
Billy's comment, this is Paul. He has a leaky bladder. It's probably real. It's probably real.
Yeah, it's probably a real one. Oh man, the medical commercials are so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medication, yeah, totally.
But okay, so you attach something to a parent in After Effects, and all of a sudden it moves it to the location of that parent. That's not how it works.
What? Yeah. It's
a bug.
It was a bug that I ran into.
Yeah.
Now, when is the last time you updated?
Yes, in
Yes.
2019, I haven't updated in maybe the last week and a half or 2 weeks, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know it doesn't do it all the time either.
I've seen that. I've had that, encountered it a few times, and I hate it.
It's weird.
It's annoying.
And you have to clear it out. It's weird. I don't know.
The other biggest thing that annoys me to no end is whenever I'm creating masks, and then I go back and I change my masks, and it keeps that mask, the original mask, in cache, so I can't see the actual changes that I'm doing.
Oh yeah, I've been getting that.
Happens to me all the time. I make a change. Okay, clear out my disk cache and whatever. Okay, that's good. Go to the next keyframe, make a change. Okay, now I got to clear out my disk cache. Blah blah blah. And so I was having all this happen for this project that Nick and I are working on, and then it's constantly crashing. After Effects was constantly crashing. Like you could only get 2 minutes into it before it would start crashing, And so we're like, okay, let's update our After Effects to the newest version. Hopefully it'll get rid of some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
It took us 12 hours to update. 12 hours to update a program because I can't go and just download the update like online. I have to go through their stupid app. And for some reason, it sees my system as, oh no, we got to give it the slowest amount possible. It will literally take me 12 hours to update.
I don't understand that,
app.
Man.
What?
That's just,
Your bandwidth is just limited there.
But no, you have bandwidth.
I've got a gigabit internet.
Just the Creative Cloud app is stuck.
Yeah.
Only the Creative Cloud app. And I don't know why. And it happens on every computer.
Is it them or your ISP is the question?
I have no
Who's
idea.
your ISP?
It's got to be them because I can go to Adobe's website and I can download the original version of the app, just not the updated one, and install it. I can download it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, Ri-Fi says, did you turn it on and off again? Off and on again. Yeah. No, I like Impulse directed me to something, by the way, called Winaero, Winaero tweaker.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to help with some Windows tweaks. I'm going to check that out after the show and see. But yeah, a lot of people in the chat are saying they had the same problem you did with the masks.
I hate this update to and Adobe is just making me mad.
But Matt, content aware fill though.
I haven't used it.
Look over here, everybody.
This would be perfect
Look
for
over
this
here.
project.
Don't look at your RAM preview. Look over here.
Yeah, but
yeah, don't look at that red frame rate on your RAM preview.
Yeah.
It's 3 frames per second, right?
Yeah. You need
It's
2
stupid,
or more
but
frames
I
to
will
render.
say, the Mocha update is fantastic. I love the Mocha update. Like now that I've finally figured out how to use it.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Like I use it nonstop.
Can I tell you my beef?
Fantastic. Let's hear your
Here's
beef.
my beef. They made it.
Beef it up.
They made it so now, which is really cool, that you can bring in this Mocha stuff straight back in without the copying and pasting into After Effects.
Yeah.
But the way that you do it, you have to pick which mask that you want to bring in. You can't bring them all in. That's fine. You got to pick the masks. You go in.
Yeah.
I had this problem last time I used this, like 6 months ago or so, and I completely, again, this time I forgot again because I had this hang up last time and it took me forever to figure it out. Same thing today. If you're bringing that in, you click on the layer that you want to bring in and then you hit OK. But then nothing happens. And you're like, wait a minute, why didn't it bring this in? And you do it again. You click on the layer that you want to bring in for that mask from Mocha. It doesn't work. You're like, why isn't this working? Oh, it's because there's a box to the left of the layer you want to bring in.
Yeah.
that is the same color as the background, but maybe slightly darker by just a little tick, and then you have to tick that checkbox. But also, it's not a checkbox; it just has a gear in it that you have to turn on. Now, please tell me why that was a good idea. Please, somebody tell me.
I ran into the exact same issue, and this gives me this is one of those situations where you're like, I'm not an idiot. I should know how to do this. I shouldn't have to go to a YouTube thing just to figure out one tiny little issue, you know? Like, I've done plenty of motion tracking in Mocha. I know how to use it. Why can't I figure this out?
Well, that's just a sign that it's not intuitive. Like, it's not an intuitive update.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
It should be intuitive.
See, there should just be like a little drop down. You know, I don't know why you have to open up a whole nother pop-up window in order to select which layer. You should just be able to do a drop down.
Yeah.
That would.
I'm sure it's something technical.
Problem. I mean, if it's not intuitive for those of us who use it every day, then it's obviously the wrong user experience choice. So, like, why? Like, why is no one listening?
Even if it's a separate window, though, let's think about it. You're the designer. You're designing this thing, and you're like, okay, when a user gets this window, what they're going to need to do is select the layer. Okay, first of all, you think you would select the layer, but even if you're going to put a checkbox, why would you not put a check in the checkbox? Why would it be a gear?
Yeah.
And why would it be so hard to see that you can't even find it? But I'm telling you, twice now it's gotten me where I forgot how I did it last time. And I forgot it was broken last time and still broke.
Yeah, and I didn't update to 2019 until just recently, and I was trying to avoid it, but I had to update because of doing some VR stuff, some VR work, and we can talk about that.
I've got it on the list.
Yeah, cool. But I had to, and as Matt was saying, I've been having all kinds of update issues, not just with the masks, like all kinds of times where it's like I'm updating layers and moving things. I'm like, and I'm still seeing an image in the in the comp window. It's not calculating, but it's like not updating, and I have to I clear the cache and everything. Sometimes I just have to close out, come back in, and sometimes I'm working with 7 or 8K frames or screen sizes, but After Effects should be able to handle that. You know, it's not even that complex. Usually, a lot of this is rendered in 3D, so it's just a PNG sequence, and it's this shouldn't be hard. There's no effects even in After Effects right now, so I'm having all kinds of update issues like that.
I think I might have said it before.
It's even just. Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, sorry.
We all started talking at the same time.
No, because you all have the same issue. But no, so it's in addition to the RAM preview being slow, now I can't even see a still frame when I do an update or when I move something.
And once After Effects goes above HD, it's craps the bed. Oh, 4K. Yeah. Oh God, no. Can't do 4K.
So 8K, of course, it dies.
Yeah.
And I don't expect a full-time RAM preview in 8K, obviously, but I should be able to move the playhead and still see the frames update
and clear the cache and have it actually clear.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I
mean, I can scroll through pictures in Windows Photo Viewer faster than I can scroll in After Effects.
Right.
Content aware, huh?
Anyway,
this if I get another one, the next project like this, I'm going full Fusion. I'm just gonna.
Really? That's a bold statement.
I mean, we've got it. We've had it for a while, and I know generally how to use it. I used Resolve in Fusion for one project, and I really enjoyed the workflow. And I feel I don't know, this next one I just need to figure it out, because then I'll just move over to there. I mean, there's no reason I need to be doing comping in After Effects. After Effects is good for very simple, ease in, ease out, position, scale, rotation, transparency. No masks. As long as there's no masks.
Well, here's some good news too. If you are a HitFilm Pro user.
Oh, right.
HitFilm Pro, which I had never heard of.
I know what it is.
I had actually never heard of it. Pretty soon, I don't know how they did this, you'll be able to use After Effects plugins with HitFilm Pro.
I think that's exciting. That's cool. I mean, it at least gives another, is that After Effects ones, or is that Premiere?
AE plugins within HitFilm Pro. Wow. This is according to this post on Red Shark News, and I don't understand exactly how this is going to work. And you have to reverse engineer this stuff for it to work. And they've got it looks like an Andrew Kramer lens flare plugin here.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, it's Element 3D. And they got Element 3D here, and they have the lens flare pack here. It must be some sort of reverse engineering. I have absolutely no idea how that's going to be done, but even if like Hit Film Pro is like not your thing, it just proves that it is possible to reverse engineer this. So other people could do this.
Interesting.
Or
Yeah.
what if somebody buys them out for this functionality? I mean, I would think about it if I were, doing I don't know, different compositing program that's trying to compete.
Yeah, you got quotes from Freddie Wong and Ren. Ren saying this is pretty rad. I always tell people who want to pursue VFX professionally to look into using HitFilm since it can do it all. That's interesting.
Just something to keep your eye on. Never know.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know you've mentioned, let's say, HitFilm Pro and Fusion, but like you mentioned Calvary before.
Oh man, I'm so excited for that.
What's the deal?
I did.
Is it
coming?
Oh. Yeah, it's still being worked on, but like the coolest thing that I've seen with it is like C4D effector type stuff, in a 2D package.
I don't really know anything. Like, Julie, you know any more about it? Because I haven't really read anything.
No more than you guys know. I mean, I just looked at the website, and yeah, just like this, like Matt was saying, like C4D, like fall off sort of things, like cloner and effector sort of fall off. I mean, that's enough to sell me on it. Because I've done that. I've tried it even with some AE scripts and everything in After Effects, and it works. But it's not fast enough, to like. Like in cinema in the viewport, usually you can move a plane effector around and it's like responds right away, and that's what I need for it to work.
All I gotta
There's
say
another app
is that like if you're Adobe right now, like don't think that you're gonna be on top of that. They don't care now.
They don't care.
They don't care now. Okay.
I don't think they're even paying attention to the competition because they got a monopoly. They basically have a VFX monopoly unless you want to pay $14,000 for Nuke.
What's this one you just sent me?
So Notch. So I was at FITC, that conference, Future Innovation, Technology, Creativity in Toronto. That was just like a month ago.
Oh, that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that. So anyway, I was at there, and FITC is like it's about. I like it because it's about so much more than just Mograph. Like it's about like. Technology, like the name says, but it's about like I don't know. There's a lot of talk about like real time and AR and VR and AI stuff. So they were mentioning this program Notch, and this is all like focused on real time creation. And it looks pretty great. So I haven't really tried it out yet, but like it has all kinds of abilities. And one of the speakers, Kate Dawkins, she was mentioning it that they've used it for real time graphics behind a lot of like Broadway productions. Where or like live sort of things, because where like you can have if you had a looping background, that's a limited time. You can't just like end it or extend it, or I mean you can, you're limited, but with this, like it's if something takes longer or if you need to switch the effect to another thing or need to transition sooner because of how the actors work, you can use this sort of thing. So I don't know how capable it is, but it's focused on being real time, so we'll see how that.
Man, that'd be rad.
This seems more
it's another one.
like kind of along the lines
throwing
of
shade at After Effects.
Yeah.
We can do real time. Why can't you?
This seems kind of like something that's like Touch Designer, possibly in a way.
Yeah. Probably similar to that. I would say.
Is there a lot of interactive? It says live visuals redefined, so I'm assuming there's interactive stuff as well. This could be. This could be.
There's a lot of
fun.
different tiers for the product, but it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I got to try that one of these days, but I haven't.
One of these days, yeah.
Sorry guys. Luke from Notch is hitting me up in the bottom right corner of the website. I gotta go talk to him for a minute.
That's funny because I've got Bent from Notch.
Wow, we should like hook these guys up. They might like to know each other. Oh wait, they work for the same company. Anyway,
that's what. Yeah, so I hope I'm not doing the best commercial for their app right now, but.
Hey, you know what?
People are talking about it.
As long as you don't have an investment in that personally, I think you're okay.
No. People are talking about it, and I'm going to talk about it because, I haven't had a chance to try it. But if someone tries it and tells me how good it is, and tells me like that you can jump from After Effects with this, then I'll do it.
Yeah, it's that the biggest thing for people trying to jump off is the plugins thing. You got all your plugins, you got all your go-tos, and maybe you don't have a lot, but it's hard to find an RSMB for a program that you just started using. You're like, where could I find those one or two plugins that are so like imperative.
Yeah. That brings up an interesting point because, like say, for example, jumping from one render engine to the next, it can be relatively intuitive because a lot of the same concepts can be used, but, when you're jumping from After Effects to a whole nother program or something like that, yeah, you're still using the same concepts, but After Effects is so limited in as far as like the amount of plugins and stuff. Like, all of us have built up a giant arsenal of plugins for After Effects that we probably use regularly, and then having to jump over to another one, they're just like, oh, well, shit, what am I going to do?
And they're trying to like be, comprehensive and have like their own solution for all of that, but there's no way they'll get everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other side of this is like a lot of this that we've been talking about with Fusion and everything's more like the compositing side. And for sure, like, there's better programs for compositing than After Effects. But when it comes to just animating, like shape layers, that's sort of like just tweaking the keys and the curves and everything, like the animation curves, I mean. It's like there really is, I don't see any of these competing with After Effects just for like really like nuanced animation, shape layer, Illustrator-based stuff.
Yeah.
That's not, the compositing realm, like none of these are probably going to have that.
Time
I mean,
will
they'll
tell.
try. Maybe they'll get there. I don't know. Like cinema, animating and tweaking and speed and everything in cinema is really good. So I don't see why these other ones can't have really good, curve editors.
Something that is not in our notes right now, but I know is going on right now, is the Apple special event. That's like literally going on right this second.
Yeah.
And
okay.
more and more, it causes...
Don't worry, y'all.
I am not interested.
Yeah, don't worry,
you can
everybody.
Now put
We're
AirPods on your meme emojis.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't wait
But
to see what my...
they do have dark mode on the new upcoming iOS.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's fun,
well, at least they're catching up with the crowd a little bit, but
yeah,
this is like more and more. It's like Apple special event where everybody says, "Okay, don't care," and it's so sad.
Yep.
Like I used to be like, "Oh, it's Christmas. Today's Apple Day," but no anymore.
We would get pizza. We would order these gigantic pizzas and sit down and eat pizza while watching the Apple event.
It would be.
I think the last one we did was the when they announced the trash cans. Yep.
And now there's a couple people today who are like, maybe they'll come out with the new Mac Pro. Okay.
I don't think they will.
Even if they did.
It's not going to have space for a full-size, PCI graphics card. So
right. Exactly.
It means nothing to me.
Yep.
Bob says they're announcing the lap pad. Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing?
He's joking.
Okay.
I think he's joking.
You never know.
It's sad for me. Like I used to be a huge Apple fan. I actually my PC used to be a Hackintosh. When I first built my PC, it was a Hackintosh. I went through all that insanity.
That is
trying to
so
get
much
Yeah,
work.
no thank you.
Yeah, I put in all kinds of crazy kernel extensions, all that stuff, just so I could have Mac OS, because Mac OS is a nicer operating system.
Yeah, it
for
is.
Sure, I'll say that. But oh my gosh, eventually I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is a hassle. I don't have time for this.
Pedro says they're going to announce a Mac Pro today. New Mac Pro, still not what you want. Did they already announce it, or is this just still?
They haven't. Trust me, I got the feed going on right now.
All devices with an A9 chip.
Oh, it's already going on. Yeah, we can just bring it up and watch it. Let's just sit here and watch it. This would be I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I don't want to sit here and watch it.
I'm just kidding.
As soon as if you see an announcement about Mac Pro, just stop whatever we're talking about so we can throw shade on it.
Yeah, we'll be like breaking news. Should I get the graphics ready? Breaking news.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, yeah, you hold on to that
Apple
stream.
stocks fall horribly because of among creatives. Sorry.
All right, Matt, you keep that window open.
Got it.
You break in if we get that breaking news, and we'll be like, Matt, tell us what you're learning.
I wonder if it'll be that stackable Mac Pro thing. There was that where you'd stack different boxes, Mac Pros or Mac Mini size boxes to make your.
Yeah, they were talking about modular, but it's
Lego computer. Or whatever.
Yeah, so they will have a $4,000 2080 that's made just for Mac. That's modular that you can put in there if you want. Yeah.
And you won't be able to upgrade it ever, so you have to deal with this Mac Pro for another 5 years and never upgrade, and it'll cost $10,000.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Okay.
gonna be more than that.
if you really
Or
are
whatever.
in for like the
20,000.
laughs, if you want to like scroll along and see the laughs, Billy says that everybody
Oh,
is
I'm
is
here.
live live meme chatting in the general channel on the
Oh
Slack.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's blowing up right now.
It's
Wow.
This is probably as good as the Kubernetes.
Oh yeah, it's
you're
gonna
the
be good. Oh, we're
Kubernetes.
missing out on so
Yep.
many jokes and so many meme jokes.
It's all right.
All right, so Julie, let's actually
sorry,
talk
guys. Sorry I
about.
have to do this podcast.
Let's talk about what you do. I'm sure it's way more interesting than memojis.
I don't know if anything's more interesting than emojis. I don't know if anything's more interesting than throwing shade at Apple.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun.
It's fun. Yeah, we all have fun with that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about
All right,
Mograph
cool.
Mondays. For those, there's a lot of people apparently in the chat who are big fans. I could tell here. But for people who haven't met you before and don't know about Mograph Mondays, give everybody kind of a little rundown of what it is.
Sure. So Mograph Mondays is a monthly event for motion designers, but also anyone, any creative person interested in this realm, whatever. We've been going for about 5 years now, and it's consistently like, yeah, it's pretty wild. So it's consistently like the Detroit one is at the end of the month, and it's usually like, it starts off with just typical hangout time for like an hour. Then we have 2 to 3 presenters, like 20 minutes each, that either show recent work or some sort of workflow, or just presentations of some sort. And then we just have hangout networking time after that. And that's really the format of the event. It's pretty typical as far as that goes. We have each month I have a different person do the graphics. So there's like different banners and animations for each month. I mean, really, I just ask, do a banner, and if you can do an animation, then go for it. So we get lots of like art that comes from that, and often the person who works on the monthly graphics will present at the event.
That's
We'll
awesome.
talk about it. So yeah, format-wise, like it's kind of a typical meetup. We have like some branding, and people are kind of used to the consistency now. They know it's going to be at the end of the month. And now we are actually expanding to some different locations. We have Dan Mauer's running Lansing, Michigan. Morgan Tinney is going to be launching Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mograph Mondays, actually next Monday. And then there's video from our last event. And then Evan Abrams is running Mograph Mondays in Ottawa, Canada. And Jeff McCormick is running Mograph Mondays Cleveland.
Wow.
So we're getting out to some other cities. So
that's awesome.
And those are all kind of just getting going, not as many attendees yet, but we're expanding the brand out to that. So.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have what resources do you offer people who are expanding or helping you expand in those areas? I know a lot of people find it really hard. We've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to get a meetup going in this city or this city. What should I do?" We try and give whatever advice we can, but what do you do for those people who are trying to? I mean, sometimes it's like, how do I even find anybody to show up for this event?
Yeah.
Especially if you're just living in like some rando city somewhere,
I know. So, well, for me, I started Mograph Mondays when I started freelancing. So being a freelancer is just kind of inherently helpful because, like I always say, I met more people in like the first year of freelancing, more different people than I did in like the past like 10 years before that, working at different studios and so forth.
Yeah, one of the biggest things with freelancing is networking.
Yeah.
So
it just happens inherently.
Yeah.
And so yeah, as far as like advice on that, what's nice is if someone wants to start a meetup, I just do like a Skype chat with them or something, and we talk about all their concerns and everything. As far as resources for that, it's more just kind of like learning how your community works. It's hard if there's not many people there in the community, but I mean, I just usually say like to reach out to like different studios and just go ahead and just cold email them, and just be like, hey, I'm starting this meetup. Let me know if anyone from your team wants to come. It'll be like because normally people get emails like, hey, I'm looking for a job, and they'd see this and be something different, like, oh, what's this? So as far as I can tell, everyone wants to go to these things. So just look for companies in your area that do what you do, and start with that. Also, like often like co-working spaces are helpful. We have a couple WeWorks here in Detroit, and those will like usually you can figure out ways to connect there. You can also like post on their boards, whether it's their physical boards or they have like emails. And often those co-working spaces will hold the events for you. Like sometimes it'll be
cool.
costly, and sometimes they'll do it for free. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, you can have your event here. So
yeah,
if you
that's
have
good
your event
advertising
there,
for them, I can imagine.
then they email everyone in their co-working space, and there might be motion designers working in that co-working space. There might not be, but that's a good way to like go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have. We've been to some WeWorks here, haven't we? I thought.
Yeah, I've been to. Well, I don't know if it's.
There's a bunch of places we've used for like a day.
There are quite a few. Yeah.
But we haven't.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. So we've done meetups in different forms.
Oh yeah, you have your DFW C4D.
Mm-hmm. But we've done, like, we did a little thing in Austin that was like a beer meetup. What we did in Colorado at EJ's meetup was a little bit different, and we really liked that format.
EJ's was EJ's was great. That was a great meetup.
That was like a deal where we were almost like doing the show in front of an audience, with EJ and David. And what we do at DFW C4D is we have presenters, and like you would at a bigger event. You got the screens and all that. And we've changed it up a little bit. We've done some different things just to see how it goes. And now with Camp Mograph going on, we've been extra busy. So instead of doing 2 DFW C4Ds this year, we're just doing 1, which is going to be in November. However, we do want to have like a mini type meetup in between that's not less organized, but it's like not the like presentation stuff. It's talks and beers only. Somewhere. It's not necessarily a big, huge ordeal. What do you find has been like the best reception? Like what type of meetup works best for you? Because I know like in this video you have like a panel thing, but do you have breakouts?
Yeah.
Do you
We kind of have a balance. I mean, so honestly, when this started out, I started this just because I was a freelancer, and I was like kind of lonely that I didn't have like a consistent team around me. Because that's one thing, when you work somewhere, like you have a team around you, you're used to that camaraderie. As a freelancer, like you meet up with different teams, and they're all cool people because Mograph people are cool people, but you don't really have your own like team, your own people. So I'm like, okay, I still want to see the people I used to work with. So I started this thing, and we were just meeting at a tea shop in the area. It was like 5 people, kind of initially. And I guess what was cool about that is, so the smaller amount of people allowed us to kind of like look at other work and critique it and like think about it. Like I think one of the first things that we had looked at when we were meeting initially was like the Oblivion graphics reel or whatever, which was really cool at the time, and it's still cool. But yeah, so we were just like picking apart some other work and like having a little group discussion about it, and because with a small group you can interact like that. Though now that we've grown and we're more like 30 to 40 people, you can't really have that same sort of experience as far as like everyone focused on one thing. So most of the time it is just presenters, but I always limit them to like 20 minutes maximum. So really quick, so like an hour of presentations maximum, because people get really antsy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just try to get through those, and I'm always like critiquing and like making sure, I ask people to present when I know like they'll have interesting content, and sometimes they'll be like, hey, I might talk about this. What do you think? And I'll let them know what's probably the audience will like the most. So I try to help presenters like kind of critique what they're going to talk about for like a quick format that's going to be interesting.
One of the things that we sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's another question. I'll let you finish.
I'll just keep talking forever. No, let me continue. So yeah, so we started small and now we're growing a little bigger. And so out of necessity, we've had to have like presenters. And then we had that panel discussion last time because I wanted to do something different. I really wanted to have a group discussion, but I'm like, it's so big. There's like 40 people. How do we do that? I'm like, well, I guess we'll do a panel. And I didn't want the panel to be like, hey, we know, ask us questions. It's not like a conference panel, right? Where the big shots are on stage. It was just like, hey, we want to start this conversation and we'll lead it, but we want everyone to participate. And they did. Everyone like in the audience chimed in and had a lot to add, and it was really good. It felt really, really intimate, even with like around 40 people.
That seems like it works really well. It worked really well when we went to Colorado. Just people will bring up a topic and then everybody just kind of goes.
Yeah, and we've done it before because like Joey Corman was in town one time, and we had basically like a big group discussion because he was there, and it was really good. We were talking about obviously freelancing and all the things he writes about in his book and everything.
Do you bring in a lot of people? Is it mostly local people who you
Yeah,
have
it's mostly local
speak?
people.
Okay. I was gonna
I
say
mean-
because we fly people in specifically for DFWC40 and having to do that every single month,
It's expensive.
you know.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Well,
wild.
yeah.
That would be
We're
expensive.
not like that big, right? But like Joy was in town because he was shooting that video. Did you see that Mograph like coming of age video that was on School of Motion where they interviewed people at Gunner and Further North
Probably.
and other
I
studios?
haven't seen that
Like,
one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they shot a video here,
Mhm.
and yeah, I can't remember what it was like promoting one of their. I think their free course actually, like Path to Mograph. I believe was a
Mhm.
video promoting that course. So yeah, they came to shoot that. So Jory was in town, so we just had our event, around his schedule, and it worked out. So yeah, it's mostly local people. Like I haven't brought anyone in though. Actually, Nick Campbell attends pretty often because he lives here.
Right.
Oh,
He
that's
lives
cool, yeah.
nearby, so he
Yeah.
comes in.
That's cool.
But like, what's cool about this is like, I kind of like that it's local people. Like I say, like, well, I'm not very known on the internet, but I'm known in like my area, and I like to have this community that's like an addition to the online community. Like we have great online communities, like all these Slacks that we have,
Mhm.
maybe too many
Mhm.
Slacks, but like your Slack and all these other Slacks, they're super great, like super great online communities. So like I'm not gonna diss that, but having a local community is like an added like amazing thing. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with it being small and local, and I love that we're starting other chapters because that means that little local community can be in some other places. I do want to do perhaps like a conference or a day like workshop event where we could bring in someone, maybe a little more well known, and that we would charge for because our events are free. Like all these Mograph events
Yeah.
are free. Like I do have a Patreon, I asked for donations. But at some point like it's hard to run without a little bit of income on it. So we're
Yeah.
trying to figure that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, every
Um,
DFWC40 we have spent anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000
Yeah.
for every single one. We never really make money back.
Yeah.
Most of the time Maxon's really good at like helping us sponsor the event, so they give us some cash for beer and stuff like that or hors d'oeuvres and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know.
it does
It comes around. We've gotten some clients, I think, from
Yes,
throwing these
we have
events.
gotten work
Oh yeah, totally.
specifically from it, which is great.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the community, the local community especially, like we don't have that as great in Dallas, and I wish
Yeah.
we had more.
We're
Like Dave and I
trying.
are the only ones who are trying to throw it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is there like enough people that do Mograph that
I mean,
there's
There-
not
I
together
think
yet?
so.
There are. It's and that was actually what my next question was going to be because we have quite a variety of people who show up because there's a lot of video production in Dallas, just
Oh, yeah.
regular video production, and being a member of the Dallas Producers Association, we post that we're going to do our event. And so you get people showing up that are like hardcore in graphics. Some of them only know After Effects and not cinema. Some of them are producers. They want to meet people that are in motion graphics. So you have this like crazy like diversity in what people do. So my question to you is like with the people that show up, are you getting that level of diversity in profession? And if you do, how do you handle like crafting your presentation to such a variety of people? Like from a noob all the way up to somebody who's like super like hardcore octane node everything, and then the guy who like just found out, that After Effects exists yesterday,
Yeah, well, part of the reason, well, like I said, that's why I have like the shorter presentations, and I talked to the presenters about like keeping it not too deep and too technical, more like, hey, here's what's possible with this real-time thing, or here's what's possible with Unity or whatever. Or I did have someone present about Touch Designer, which like none of us really knew how to use, but they were like, here's some of what's possible. So it's more about like just touching on like, the like what you could do with it, or what just like a light sort of intro. Did I disappear for a second?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more like that because what I feel like is like we're not trying to provide like what tutorials can provide.
Right.
Like that's tutorials are online. Like you can get all the information you need. We're providing more of like a forum where you can easily ask questions and like not feel and like get quick feedback and be like, hey, like I had no idea that this thing existed, but I'm glad you showed it to me because maybe I can incorporate this into my workflow or something.
Yeah.
So we're never trying to replace tutorials. We're not trying to be like a tutorial provider sort of thing like that. And that's kind of why I want to do workshops that are more focused on a specific topic eventually now.
Mm-hmm.
But so one reason that like so that's one reason like I'm not too worried. Like, I try to like make sure everything's pretty general. But also like we do these every month. So if 1 month is way more 3D heavy and 1 month is way more After Effects heavy, or 1 month is just talking about imposter syndrome, it's like that's fine because like different people come. Actually, this last one, which was the imposter syndrome conversation, like it was a whole bunch of different people. Because there's kind of like a core group of like 10 people that are almost always there at every one. But then otherwise, there's like a bit larger community of like 200-ish people probably in the Facebook group that will show up for different things.
Right. Just
and actually a lot of students came last time too because it was like great for them.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't worry too much. I'm like, well, hey, if this is all about Redshift or Octane or something, like that's fine. There'll be something else next month that's different.
Mm-hmm. And the video I have here, which will be linked in the show notes, that's the imposter syndrome one.
Yeah.
I'm interested to actually sit and listen to that one.
Yeah, it's like we've recorded a lot of these, and I haven't quite gotten them all uploaded or any of them because
that's all right.
Same here.
We're in that boat.
Yeah.
We're in that boat
you know how it goes.
Yeah,
right?
like I'm desperately trying to get to Penny's presentation from DFWC4D so I can post it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like it has been on my to-do list like every day for the last week, I think at this point. And we recorded it 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely understand that backlog.
So I'm like, I need to like get like other volunteers to help. So that's the other hard thing. It's like I want other people to help, but no one. I mean, everyone loves this, but no one's as devoted to it as I am.
Yeah.
So I can't expect other people to have the same enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited other people are leading their own Mograph Mondays because that's a thing I didn't expect that to happen. I'm like,
see, then you get enough chapters of Mograph Mondays, and then you do one giant Mograph Monday event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Totally.
Oh man, this is like multi-level marketing now.
See, and they tell 2 friends,
And
they make 2 more.
And it's all done in exposure dollars.
Yeah, it's all, it's all exposure money.
Yeah.
Lots of exposure dollars. So the other thing I always say it's kind of funny is like, okay, so honestly, when people get to these events, they just want to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, on this, sometimes it seems like having everyone gather around the TV for like presentation time and I put up a little animation. Hey, it's presentation time. Come over here. It's kind of like I'm always like wrangling, like trying to herd everyone in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like people aren't like annoyed. It's like, oh yeah, but like once they're there, they're like they just want to hang out. But it's like you have to like have some planned stuff to like make it enticing enough for people to want to come. Like just so you can show like, hey, we're gonna be showing this work, or here's a little teaser of what one of the animations that one of the people presenting tonight has worked on. So
well, that's why Camp Mograph is going to be great. You can just you can show up if you want to go to a class, you can, but you can just go fishing instead if you want.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super great.
How was that plug,
and
Matt?
I love
was that good? Was it? Did I do well in that plug?
It's pretty good.
Okay, good.
You could have sold it a little bit harder, but that's all right.
All right.
And but I love that people are teaching more about like process and some like design principles and just balancing work and life. Like that's all great stuff. That's why I was really happy to have our event last month talking about imposter syndrome, just because so many people, like especially students, they came up to me like, oh, I'm so happy to feel like I'm not the only person that feels this.
Yeah.
And that's like what makes me really happy.
Yeah, the imposter syndrome. Yeah, that's a big one where people are like, they feel like they're the only one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we all feel that.
Yeah.
But we all have it, and everyone. That's another thing. One reason I also had this event was like I was at FITC, and everyone on stage was talking about how they have imposter syndrome. This is like people and everyone. They're like, you have imposter syndrome. So I guess what I realized, imposter syndrome never goes away, no matter how accomplished you are. Because I always think, I have it because like, I don't know, I haven't, I don't have this many followers on Instagram, or I haven't made this one cool project for this one cool client that like got like everywhere, but then I'm like, no, these people have it. These people work on the Olympics and all this other crazy stuff. And it's like, wow.
It's like that meme, can't have imposter syndrome if everybody has imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
See, we all have imposter
that's how
syndrome.
The meme works.
Yeah.
I mean, either everyone has, however you look at it, either everyone has it or no one has it. Either we're all imposters or no one's an imposter, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to think we're all imposters. Wait.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's true though, like because we don't already know. Like a client like has a need or whatever, and it's like we probably haven't already done that. It's how many times like do you start a new project and like, oh, okay, I've done like 90% of this. Yeah, I've done that before, but then like, oh, there's 10% of a thing like I've never done that. I've never done character animation. I've never done that kind of simulation. Like Always. And of course,
Yeah.
if they ask like, hey, can you do this? You're like, of course. You say, yes, of course, absolutely.
When
Because
the
you can.
client
Like, you
the
may not know
client asks you
exactly, but you,
like, have you
yeah.
done this before? Like that's a funny question, you
Have you
know.
done this before?
Like
Oh yeah, sure, I've done that. No
I need
problem.
a buffalo. This is actually something we're working on. I need a buffalo that's running through Times Square. Do you have any examples of something like that you could show me?
I hope your client isn't watching.
It's like, no. No,
Sorry,
I
our
straight up
clients don't watch our show.
no, I straight up told the client, I'm like, nope, haven't done that before. But can you do it? Well, of course I can do it. Of course.
Of course
That's
I
the other
can.
thing, though. Like, if you have a good enough relationship with your clients, you can be honest about that.
Yeah.
Well, and
Or you
that's
can be like, hey, like I can see how this will be very challenging to accomplish this thing in this amount of time. I've done similar things and I can make it work, but I would advise that you make a different choice here.
yeah, and but that's the thing. You tell the client yes, and usually it's because you've done all the elements of it before. Have I done motion tracking? Yes. Have I done hair? Yes. Have I done character animation? Yes. So therefore, I can do all of these things. It's hard to explain
you
to a
have
client,
these pieces that you know, and you can put them together.
right?
In my hand.
Because a
Basically
client's
talk
like,
with my hands last.
a client would be like, so you haven't done this before? Well, no, there's a lot of things I haven't done before, you know, but it's about that having that ability to do the things that you haven't done before. That's what makes you decent at your craft, I guess, you know. No pun
Yeah,
intended.
totally.
Craft.
No, as you go, as you learn. I actually just did a talk at we had a Mograph Mondays at one of the local community colleges here, Schoolcraft College, and I did a talk about, kind of focused on students and like, I don't know, like figuring out what to do as soon as you graduate. And I was like, I know that like you're worried about what you need to do or what you need to learn or what you need to focus on, and it's like I'm like, none of that really matters. Like you keep adding more pieces, more tools to your tool belt, and eventually you can just combine them into more different things. You don't have to specialize in one thing, and you'll probably like start working on one thing, and then you'll think like, oh, that's what I'm going to do for sure. But then you end up pivoting because you're like, well, I started doing this, but like now that I've learned this other thing, I'll just I'll focus on that. So you're always learning something new.
Well, I'm interested to hear what you're working on right now, because you said that you're doing something in VR, and I love messing with VR, but I really don't create much stuff in VR. So, first of all, can you talk about what it is, or do you have to do? Yeah, let's see.
That was a perfect example of like
totally.
This was with a client, like a studio that I have a very good relationship with. I love to work with them. I can't say who it's for, but it's for one of the automotive companies. It's Detroit, so of course,
right?
Not always. So yeah, but of course they're like, hey, this is VR. We have a VR project, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I haven't really worked in VR, but I'm all for that. And I'm like, hey, do I need to like buy I didn't have a VR headset yet. They're like, I was like, should I get a headset for this? And they're like, yeah, that'd be very helpful. And I was like, oh darn it, I guess I'll have to pull the trigger on that. I guess I'll buy one.
Which one did you get?
The Rift S.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
oh, hey, there's a hidden thing I found this morning. Did you know that by default the resolution is lower than it can be?
Yeah, super sampling, right?
It's an actual resolution. It doesn't say what the resolution change is, but if you go and you switch between the two modes, like performance over quality, most of us in this industry probably have enough hardware to support higher quality. And it actually ups
in the
the
actual
resolution.
Oculus settings?
Yeah. It doesn't say that it's a resolution change, but it's a full-on resolution change.
Well, I think so. I didn't actually know it's in the Oculus settings. I was using the like Oculus debug tool for the super sampling settings. Like you can open up it installs this thing called the Oculus debug tool, and you get all kinds of like secret settings in there. I think what you're talking about is probably super sampling. It defaults to like 0, and then you can set it to 1. It looks a lot better. So I didn't know it was in the Oculus settings though. I'll have to try that.
It's it's called something else for consumer purposes.
Yeah, I know.
But that's probably the same thing. Yeah.
So what I'm working on, it's not interactive. It's really just a viewed experience. Like someone will put on like an Oculus Go, and they will go into this area and they will watch content. Most of the content will be in front, but it will move around them. So it's basically a stereoscopic 360 video, right? But you do need a VR headset to look at that. So it's all a rendered thing, but it has to be rendered at like, almost 8K. So it's high enough resolution once it goes out there. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So setting up a stereoscopic camera in After Effects and Cinema 4D is pretty easy now. So actually the setup wasn't too bad. But now it's just like kind of like placing things within where we want the viewer to see them, or I would say like, if they're facing forward, how much can they really see? So what's helpful is that you can totally hook up the Rift S and basically use it as a monitor for After Effects.
Oh, okay.
So you have to, if you install, you install the Oculus software, then you have to install Steam and install Steam VR.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you have Steam VR installed, then you go into After Effects, and in your video output options, there's Adobe Immersive Environment, and you turn that on. And then in the bottom left of your comp window is a little VR headset icon, and you can pick it whether it's however if it's side by side or over under. Like we're doing 360 over under.
Really?
An example.
Is over under?
So yeah. So the eyes are left on top, right on bottom, and it's like a big 7680 cube, so like double 4K.
So it's okay. It's cube, which means because you have to use the cube if you're using some of the lower level VR systems, right? Like the Go uses cube.
Yeah. For the Go, I think you need it.
Yeah.
So so it's over, and so in cinema I just match the same settings. Cinema camera, you can turn on stereoscopic, you can do 360, over under, and it works. It's pretty easy to like get that to match, and then we just kind of matched camera height and between the programs, and it's going pretty well. But yeah, so it's like I will render some stuff in cinema, I'll bring it in After Effects, I can actually like see like a still frame. Like RAM preview technically should work, but it doesn't. It's hard enough for RAM preview.
Surprise!
Normally, yeah. So, but no, I've been surprised. Like I can at least see a still frame in After Effects, and it's like, oh, here it is.
Okay, I'm
and
sorry.
If I do bring the resolution down, it works pretty well.
Sorry to interrupt, but do we have breaking news, Matt? I think we have breaking news.
I don't know.
Breaking news?
Do we have breaking news?
It says it's Mac time. I'm not actually watching the thing, but
Billy said Mac Pro.
Yeah,
I know. Is this real? Is this happening?
Yeah, everyone's just saying Mac Pro. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Is this real? Somebody let us know. Billy said it twice. Mac Pro, Mac Pro.
Billy wouldn't say.
EJ's gonna be happy. Are we?
We'll see.
Do we have? I need links, people. I need links.
Well, there's the live thing though. It's a worldwide developers conference, WWDC.
Oh my gosh, they're showing it right now. I'm putting this on. Sorry, hopefully I don't get any copyright issues.
Yeah, I picked the worst time to do this podcast with you.
I'm sure we'll all hate it. What is going on?
It looks like the trash can.
Hey.
Oh.
Looks just like the trash can.
It's like a cheese
no,
grater.
It looks more like a normal. It looks like
even more like a cheese grater.
Maybe that's a good thing. Oh man.
That's kind of a good thing.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get tagged if I unmute this audio, so I'm not gonna really leave this up here. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna.
Cheese grater is back.
This is the best thing we've ever produced. We're so excited about this, and yeah, they're gonna give. All right, so we're gonna have to come back to that, I guess, because we're gonna have to get all the specs and details for next week.
Now no one's gonna even like no one's watching us now because they're watching that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not even watching us now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to. I'll leave that up and I'll look at it while we're talking here. But here's my question on the VR stuff: is that, when you're looking around, let's say that you bring one of those Cinema 4D projects into After Effects and you're using Cineware, are you able to at all like look around at your scene when you have the VR helmet on? Or is it just something where something has to render first or preview? Like how does that workflow work? Are you even able to do that?
I haven't tried Cineware in there, so I don't know about Cineware. As far as just normally, you can totally move your head around and look around.
But that's
whatever's up.
But within After Effects, not in Cinema.
Within After Effects, I don't know about Cinema.
And so when you're doing that, it's just paused at the moment, and you're looking around what you have on that frame.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't know about. I haven't tried it with Cineware. I honestly haven't really used Cineware. I feel like it just doesn't. I don't know. It always seems to. I guess I haven't put it through the paces. For me, it's just easier to do the old workflow and go back and forth.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
And you also have a note in here about X particles. Have you, are you doing X particle stuff within the VR stuff, or are you doing X particle stuff on a separate project?
I may or may not use X particles on this. I actually don't know yet. kind of depends on if it needs it, if we need that kind of, look.
But you're big into
I think we
Sims and
probably
stuff,
won't.
like X Particles, what other, Real Flow, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I've only done it with X Particles, and lately I've been really trying to do the liquid stuff like I did for the last Mograph Mondays animation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so that was kind of like me playing with it more. I haven't that should work fine in VR. I'm actually really excited. I was actually thinking about taking some frames from my latest animation and like checking them out at rendering with the stereoscopic camera and seeing how they look, because I think that'd be cool to just see how it is. But it all should work. I mean, I don't know, like I'll be interested in rendering things and putting them into whether Unity or Unreal and actually being able to move around and walk around them.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We lost you for a second. I bet she'll come back like last time. I'll set a marker.
28 core Intel.
There you are.
Okay.
There
Am I
you
back?
are. Yeah, you're
It's
back.
because everyone's watching the WWDC.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
It's just
including
bogging
one of
down
the
the
hosts
internet.
of the show is watching this stream.
Yeah, Matt.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All I need to know
I
is if
understand.
it's
NVIDIA.
I mean,
That's all you
I
want to
get
know.
it.
NVIDIA or
I
not.
get it.
Yeah.
No, I get why you're watching that.
28
So
core
anyway.
processor.
28 core
Really?
Intel Pro, up to 28 core,
Up to 28.
up to 1.5 terabytes of system memory,
PCIe display port, everything.
8 PCIe slots.
So
Okay.
theoretically, you could put a graphics card in here made by NVIDIA, but the question is going to
Maybe.
be, what do they freaking support? Oh, they would do this during the show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's their fault.
It's their fault.
For
It's
They should
knowing
have
that we were
known.
having a show.
Okay,
The MMPX module. What is this?
Radeon Pro Vega 2. There we go, and we're
Mm.
done.
Okay.
AMD
Close
only.
it now.
And the entire...
Close it back. Close it.
Did they realize that the whole entire graphics industry was just like, oh, that looks cool, but nope.
They just close the tab and they open back mograph.com.
Yeah, I have closed my
Nice.
tab. That's all I wanted to know. Ah, man, come on, Apple. Come on.
I'm sure. I'm curious to see the price point though. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
wild.
gosh, I can only imagine. I
There's gonna
can
be so
only
many
imagine.
exposure bucks.
$1,000.
It's
So much exposure coin.
yeah. What are they doing? All right. Well, anyway,
Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about VR.
VR, X Particle Sims.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, but I'm really, I mean, it's pretty exciting that you can just put on the Rift S. I don't know which other headsets it works with, but
Mhm.
that you can basically use it as just a monitor in After Effects,
But
Yeah.
are you actually can you see your mouse and everything when you're adjusting stuff,
yeah,
or is it
good question.
literally
It's
just like a
just
still
with- No.
frame?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just like when you would hook up After Effects through like an Aja card or something. and
Gotcha.
Put it out to like
Okay. Gotcha.
It's
Okay,
like
that
another
makes sense.
monitor.
That makes
Yeah.
But I mean, you can like hit frame if you have your hand on your keyboard. You can frame by frame through it, or you can
Right.
try to play around preview. Like it still is responding to all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice. So you can still like A and B stuff, or you still could move a layer or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's slow. I mean, it's super slow, but it works.
It'll get there. Maybe not on After Effects platform, but
And it's enough for me to like be able to see what I, just to make like I can, quickly enough render like a low res thing out of Cinema and have After Effects update and show me where it is, and it's enough for me to be able to place things properly.
yeah, that's the thing. That's still better than what it used to be, because what it used to be is you would have to actually render out a frame and then put it into some special app that can
Yeah.
do it in order to even see one frame and be like, okay, now I need to nudge this thing
Yeah.
to the left or whatever and render it out again.
So it's progress,
Yeah,
Say that.
it's getting there.
But also so I thought I tried to like get some video previews, even just having a comp that only has like my image sequence from the render in it, and that would never play back. So I have had to use one of the if I actually want to like render the whole thing out and view it, I've had to use one of the video players, and DEOVR is definitely the best one.
VR?
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been using, I can't even remember
as
the
far as
name
the
of it.
Oculus ones.
DO
I mean,
VR.
I'd say the best one as far as what I've experienced. I do have to render. I can't render a full 7680. I have to do 3840 square, just so I have to view it at like half resolution. But it plays back really smooth if I do that. So
DOVR, virtual
Yeah.
reality experiences. I have a feeling that's not the site I'm looking for.
Did I hit the wrong thing?
No, I think that's right. Yeah.
Alright, well, I put it in the chat.
Oh, you did. Okay, cool. No, I had just Googled it and it came up with something weird. I don't know.
Yeah, so I tried a few of them, even like the virtual desktop playing through VLC. But DOVR was the best.
Oh, DEO.
Oh, but
okay.
also like yeah, so you render out your your source flat stereoscopic stretch screen over under thing. Then you bring that into Media Encoder, and Media Encoder does have VR settings. If you scroll down, you say this is VR, and then you can choose the option like the 360 stereoscopic over under, and then it tags it as like VR.
All right.
And then actually, if you open it in VLC, even without a headset on, you can move around your mouse and you can
In 360. Okay.
In 360.
I think I have seen this player in the store, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it in the store
Yeah.
too.
But I'm using something
But
else. I forget the name of it, but yeah.
I tried like all the ones that were like at the top of the Oculus list. I tried.
Mhm.
This one definitely was the best.
Well, I'm glad that's there because a long time ago, like at first when people were trying to do this, it was really hard to find a player. And even when Oculus is brand new, you had to get the player third party. And you had to install it separately.
Yeah.
You had to go to Steam VR, and now they've actually got. And maybe they had a couple of them before, but they were only good for like regular 360 video, or they didn't have a whole bunch of options. So you would get in one of those things where you got a movie and you got the player, but they wouldn't sync up correct. Something was always off
totally.
or whatever. So they're definitely getting better.
No, this one's solid for 4K like 360 videos. Like I can scroll through it. I can move the scrubber. It actually works. Everything's synced up. You can easily loop it, keep playing it.
Cool.
And it doesn't have like a stage. Like a lot of the players, you open them up and they show like a movie theater or some sort of stage setup or something.
Yeah.
Wacky.
Yeah.
This is like no, this is basic, which I love. So.
There's a couple like that I kind of. I mean, if I'm watching a regular video, I don't mind having
If you're
it
watching,
on a screen.
a regular video, yeah, for sure.
It kind of makes you feel a little less like you're in a void by having that like little home theater with something playing. You feel a little less.
Yeah.
But you've been working on some UI UX stuff as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure all what you can talk about.
I know.
But
yeah, so that's been a funny. No, excuse me. I'm drinking too much LaCroix. I really love LaCroix, but it's carbonated. So.
we all love LaCroix.
Yeah, so Detroit, Motor City, so we have a lot of automotive work. But something in the past like 4 or 5 years that I've sort of fallen into doing for a couple different companies is automotive user interface and user experience. So because, going forward, in the next, 10, 15, whatever years, I mean, cars aren't going to have any more like gauges, like physical gauges. It'll all just be screens, right? And this is funny because I drive a Ford Fiesta ST, which is like super basic. Except, I mean, it's the sport model, so it has a turbo, it's a manual transmission, it's fast. But I kind of like that it's really basic. So I kind of don't drive a car at all that's like geared towards that anyways. But anyway, all the new vehicles coming out, EVs and like vehicles with more automation in them are all just going to have screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a wide cluster screen or like a cluster screen and a center stack screen, whatever. So just tons of screen space, tons of stuff to design. And that's sort of something I've fallen into. It's a really interesting realm. Matt, what is going on over there?
Sorry, like there's it's saying like these are some of the people that we're supporting and stuff, and it's got Otoy on there.
Oh.
On the
Otoy
Apple
and Maxon, yeah.
Maxon. They have Maxon in the Apple. Really?
Yeah, man,
This doesn't make any sense. Why would they put Redshift?
I know. I'm so confused. It's really they did. Apparently Redshift is coming to Redshift render engine is coming to the Mac.
All these. Here's the problem.
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably a lot.
Here's the problem: is that
The
all
hard
these
thing
people
is
who
that
are
I'm watching just like stills. And then I've got everyone in the chat who's just making stuff up as well. So I'm having a hard time figuring out which is real and which is fake right now.
Of course.
all I gotta say is all these people are gonna buy this expensive, overpriced thing that they could get like double, triple the power if they went PC, and they're gonna get it because it says, "Oh, Otoy" or something. You know, just don't do it. Don't fall for this trap, people. Come on, don't fall into it.
Oh,
Don't buy this thing.
it.
Come on, EJ. Don't buy a Mac Pro, please. Please just do a PC.
Is he Is he on an old Mac Pro? Like he's not a PC
Yeah.
person?
No, he's on a trash can.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But he's
okay.
doing a
Well,
lot of like video training and stuff, so he doesn't need like
I mean, that
an
makes sense.
arsenal. It's fine. I mean, I get it if you want, you know. Anyway,
No, they're showing off
So
Final Cut
I
Pro.
yeah.
no, are they
Yeah.
showing off Final Cut Pro?
Yeah, they're showing
my-
off Final Cut Pro.
Please close it. No.
Yeah, seriously, dude. That's the
Alright.
I hope
worst.
I'm not talking about the most boring things ever.
No, okay, here's
I'm
my
closing
question.
it. It's
Thank you.
Closed.
So I was
It's
talking about
officially
vehicle,
closed.
automotive
Alright.
user interface design stuff going on.
My question for you with Detroit, by the way, is
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is in the notes too here, is that everybody kind of dismisses Detroit now because we had the crash. We had the crash, and all the car companies, you know, crashed and burned for the most part. And you see all these images of Detroit coming at you, like abandoned buildings and neighborhoods and crime and all this stuff. And here's the thing: I was born in Detroit. I have family there. I've been there
I
a
didn't know
million times. Yeah, I've got the Detroit background as well. I moved to Texas as quick as I could, but bumper sticker. But the thing is, that's what everybody sees on TV. So you hear
know.
about all this motion graphic stuff coming from Detroit now, and you're like, well, wait a minute, Detroit? I thought that was nothing but abandoned buildings at this point. You know, why is it like that? Just the media?
Yeah, it's totally the media.
Yeah.
I mean, it just they haven't caught up
news.
with things.
Yeah.
It is fake news. It's totally. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like that. It's just that's the reputation we had, and that's still the prominent narrative, right?
Yeah.
For everyone who doesn't live nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So you got
Alright.
these places like Ford, you know, when they're coming out with cars, like you said, that have like these more streamlined, what do you call them? I don't know the dashboards and everything now. It's just going to be one piece, you know?
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
A big screen.
There's so many. Yeah, there's no specific design I'll talk about, but you know, it's the whole gamut of things, and they're trying all kinds. So what's interesting about it? So I never considered myself a UI designer, but I don't know. Suddenly I start working on this stuff, and mostly I'm there like working with UI designers, and I'm animating what they make. But then sometimes someone sees something I make, and they're like, "Hey, can you design your version of this speedometer, or your version of this cluster, or whatever?" I'm like, "Sure, what the heck? I'll just do it." So that's been interesting, you know, thinking about that.
The
Because,
life imitating art, you know, like
yeah, totally.
It's all like, oh, we want it to look like the movies, like the stuff that people have designed, you know, to make it futuristic. Now it's actually coming to the cars.
So it's interesting because, like, of course, you know, it's all new for the automotive companies too. Like, this is a totally new realm. So it's the epitome of not really knowing, like a client not really knowing what they want until they see it. So it's just tons of exploration, which is it's good and bad, but you know, so many iterations, so many possibilities because it's all new. So like, you know, whether it's like 3D background type animations or if it's how the actual, you know, information gauges will be there, lots of different animations, lots of different styles, lots of different possibilities. And then in the end, like it always needs to be way, way simpler than half of this design ends up being. So it's like, it's all about like the nuance. Like, okay, once it's there, it's like the nuance of like, how do the numbers change on the speedometer? Like,
Right.
And how does this line come in? Like it's all nuanced. It's very detail oriented. It's like super specific.
If you're
But
designing,
it's just kind of this new realm.
but this is, how does it work as far as like, okay, you make a proof of concept and then it's translated into an actual like program eventually. You know, let's say
Yeah.
speedometer, for example. You design a speedometer that does a certain thing. Do you then have to like chop up elements and give those to them? Or do they take that concept and start over and just copy what you did as a concept? Like, how does that work?
It's a little bit of both. Nothing I've worked on has actually been even gone like into like production yet or whatever, because it's also so far ahead, you know.
Right.
So like there's a combination of that. When it comes to a lot of the elements, like the numbers, yeah, that's all going to be programmed. It's all going to be somehow done programmatically. But there is instances where there's like a PNG sequence that will go in there.
Yeah. Because it's not
But
something
mostly
that's
it's done-
controlled by like an actual piece of like data.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
There's some pre-rendered stuff.
Yeah.
But they're trying to do as much programmatically as they can. So yeah, and I've encountered this before because I've worked on animations for other like iPhone apps, and and so forth. That a company we have here locally in Detroit called Vectorform. They do a lot of interactive applications. So I've done a lot of working with developers where I'll animate something as an example, then the developer will try to match that, and then like show it to me. I'll be like, that's close, but like not quite. And then we'll talk. Then like sometimes I would tell them like the type of speed curve, like cubic or whatever, as far as like how fast something should ease and so forth. So it's just interesting working with developers and working on animations that are going to be part of an interactive experience or are going to be communicating something to someone driving. And what's the other big thing that's interesting about this is like, I'm animating this stuff. I'm like, isn't this distracting, right? So you're trying to keep it very minimal. Like if, like most of the animation happens during like the startup sequence, of course, like because the car stopped, who cares? But even when you're transitioning between modes, there's like a whole animation transition, and yet it has to be kind of really fast. There isn't totally guidelines yet, but there's guidelines sort of coming out as far as like how long animations can actually be.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's gonna be a whole new realm of regulation.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is like when I talk about like, hey, is it like is the speedometer easy enough to see? It's kind of like because automated driving is gonna be such a big thing. Like people aren't as concerned about honestly like yeah, they're worried about you seeing how fast you're going, but not that worried.
Right.
Which is super weird. But it's true. It's like well, knowing your speed isn't going to be as important when so much is your car's automated.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll always have like a sport mode for the sportier cars where like speedometer is really big and you get all your boost gauges and all that stuff. And honestly, the sport modes are way more fun to work on than any other part of these things.
It seems like it. Yeah, we've done some too that we also can't talk about. And that's a frustrating thing is like you create these really cool looking things for like some big company.
So much content. I have like just terabytes of content that I've created that I can't share anywhere. At least not yet. So.
Yeah, not yet. That's the thing. I check in every year or so, and it's like, nope, still can't show that. Oh, dang. All right.
No, absolutely.
But
so yeah, that's where all the exploration, iteration. It's definitely an awesome exercise for a creative person, for a designer. I'm like, wow, this really stretched me. Like I really had to think about how to do this stuff, but I can't really show it.
That movement and animation thing, that's really interesting because like what we created was something on startup. It was a startup sequence, so it didn't matter. But I never really thought about the fact that like, you have to be careful about what's being shown depending on how fast the car is going or whether or not the car is moving.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that with my Apple CarPlay, It's like there are certain apps where it's like Spotify, for example. I'd love to just be able to search for a specific artist, but you can't, because they don't want to take away, they don't want to distract you while you're driving.
Right. So instead you pick up your phone and you do it that way.
Right.
That's
instead
better. That's way better.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know.
So in a nutshell, it's just cool. It's kind of, it's a hard thing to work on, but it's an interesting new thing to work on because it is fun to work on something like, hey, potentially something I work on could be in a vehicle, could be out there, people could be using it. Right?
Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
It's kind of cool, and yeah, obviously, like often they want to see cool stuff, like cool like UI, like you see in like space movies or whatever. I'm like, yeah, and like I take cues from that, but it gets like toned way down, which makes sense, but. It's just an interesting challenge, and I like it. It's just like a surprising thing, It's something I never thought I'd end up working on, and it's cool. I never thought I'd be thinking about user experience as much as I do.
Right.
I am more now.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you're also a big work-life balance person when it comes to talking about work-life balance. I also like to talk about like work-life balance. Doesn't mean I always do it, but
No, me either.
It's getting like dark where you're at. What's going on?
The lighting just changed. Like,
wow. That's fun.
I don't know what just happened.
It's all right.
The top half of my head is like gleaming bright. I don't know what is.
Yeah, now there you go.
Here.
That's funny. All right. So
forehead.
You probably talk about this a lot at your meetups, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
So I'll put you on the spot. What is the number one thing that helps you when it comes to work-life balance?
I
know it's a tough one.
I guess. No, I know. There's a lot of different things, but the number one thing. Well, honestly, here's a huge thing that's a recent development, and I'll get into talking about something I want to talk about anyway. I've been freelancing for like 5 years, and the whole time, like I work on site sometimes, but we're working at home a ton, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, after 5 years or so, and based on some things that some of my friends have been talking about, I was like, oh, I really want to rent an office space.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was talking with Billy and some other people, and then I found out like the space where Gunner Animation is, which is the next to like the old train station in Detroit. Like I just found out what the rent was, and I'm like, oh wow, that's how much the rent is. Well, how much is one of the rooms half that size? And I found the rent. I'm like, oh, we could do this. So we got together, and 8 of us pitched in, and now we're renting a space, and now we have another office, and we're all freelancers, so like none of us have to be there, but we like to come
Right.
and so forth, and it's affordable. So anyway,
you were the one who like organized this entire thing.
So it was an idea for a long time. Like Billy and his friends had the name Box for it for a long time, and I became friends with them through Mograph Mondays. Like they're like the core people that always come to Mograph Mondays. So their name was kind of there for a while. The idea was there for a while to have that, whether it was a studio or whatever. And then I just kind of helped pull the recent trigger and pull it all together. I'm not trying to take credit. I definitely know that like I helped a lot with that happening. So anyway, so having an office is like a nice change for me, and it's like there's no pressure. I don't have to be there. I don't have to be there certain hours.
Right.
But I have that again, and I still like I'm at home right now, and I still have a good laptop. I work from home, but my main PC is at the office. So having that separation physically again brings me back to that. Luckily, it's not too far away. It's only like 20 minutes to drive there, so that has been pretty huge. Having that, obviously, my spouse, she helps me, not lose my mind with things, and takes me out of the Mograph realm.
Right.
She's a librarian. So it's fun.
So that's my wife.
I mean, yeah, but like hanging out with non-Mograph people who like have like they know what we do, but like they are not in this at all. Like they don't like they don't see people on the street and like freak out, right? So they're just it just like brings you to reality. It's like, oh, like my job is cool, it's fun, but it's not like the everything in the universe. And the other thing is like the main thing with that is that I just think, oh, I'm Julie who does Mograph Mondays, right? Like, who am I without my work or without Mograph Mondays? And it's like, wait, no, all these other friends I have, they're friends with me, or my wife, she's my wife, not because I do Mograph Mondays, not because like I can animate cool stuff, like it's just me as a person.
Right.
So kind of like figuring out who I am as a person separate from Mograph is like a huge thing. I'm like, just because even my wife has said like, what if like, I don't know, like you couldn't use your hands or something? Like you got injured.
I've thought about that.
I think about
Yeah,
that
I've
a
thought
lot.
about
What
that.
if I go blind?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like you would cease to exist. Like you're a person outside of just the Mograph realm.
Yeah.
But like really thinking about that has been pulling me out. Not that like, I mean, I'm super. We're all passionate about our work. Like we love it. But I don't know. I guess just like reducing it's like I can't base my self-esteem or self-worth on it, and that's been like the hugest thing. Like, getting out of that.
Yeah.
And I've been reading and listening to Kristen Neff. She does she researches self-compassion, and she's written some books on it. She has a new like audiobook out on it. You can just find a YouTube video of her, NEFF, Kristen Neff, and that's been really helpful too. Because you know how we all like say like horrible things to ourselves and like beat ourselves up when we mess things up, right? Like we say things to ourselves that we'd never say to a friend, like even an enemy, even someone we don't like. We say horrible things to ourselves, like we don't give ourselves any slack, right? And she's talking about like how, and because we think like if we give ourselves slack, if we're too nice to ourselves, if we give ourselves a break, we won't succeed, or we won't accomplish, or won't do as well in our careers as we are right now. And that's like not the truth. It's like super counterproductive to be hard on yourself.
And you're gonna get burnt out, if you if you do too much, and if you're too hard on yourself for not working and you work more, then you're gonna get burnt out. And actually, I think I read that burnout is actually a real ailment that's going to be added to DSM pretty soon. You're suffering from burnout, like a real descriptor of it's not just like anxiety or depression or I don't know, sleep related issues. It's actually going to be called that.
Burnout.
And I think I think it's because a lot of people right now in this current economic climate, I think, are experiencing that a little bit more. It's just it's things are getting harder and harder. Wages are getting. It's not that they're getting lower. It's just that they're stagnant, and people are getting burnt out because they're trying so hard to make ends meet right now. But
my mom made the joke. She's very, one way, and she's like, "Oh, but unemployment rate is so low right now." I said, "Yeah, it's because everyone has 3 jobs."
right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah,
Anyway.
we had a whole wages discussion on another show, but yeah, I mean, you're
Oh
trying
yeah,
to,
this is stuff you guys talk about all the time. So
but it's still
I'm
like
just trying to add to the conversation.
that burnout is just, oh man, you got to keep yourself away from your computer sometimes. Got to make yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other thing is just so like you can like pound your head on a problem all day and like not find a solution, and then you could like leave and go for a walk in the woods and go to sleep and then wake up in the next morning or something, and like the solution will just come to you. Like your brain keeps working on the hard stuff when you start when you leave it, and like if you don't give your brain that time to do that stuff, you just think, oh, I'll just throw more hours on this. I'll just stay up all night. I'll just like push all night on this thing. Like you're wasting like many hours that, and you're not finding the solution. You just don't make the connections.
Yeah, you'll sit in front of a problem and you'll keep trying to do the same thing or some sort of variation, and then you'll walk away and then realize that you were doing it wrong the whole time. There's a completely different way to do it. Excuse me.
So, yeah, and I think so I don't know, like work-life balance never seems like the right word because like there's always so much going on. Like for me, I'm always like planning the next Mograph Mondays, or obviously just navigating the freelance realm, which luckily in Detroit is pretty great. Like there's a lot of us freelancers, and we all have a lot of work, and we're all able to recommend work to each other when we're booked. So it's not really like cutthroat by any means. Like we're all able to be friends and share it, which is also great about box work because with a bunch of freelancers, like we can stand up and be like, who's available right now? Because I'm not, but I got a job, So it's pretty nice.
I don't remember who said this, and it might have been in the Monday meeting this morning. And I really wish I could give credit to the right person, but somebody said something about it's not really work-life balance because it's never 50-50. But it's about, I always spend 90% of my time working, and let's not make it 91%. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not really a balance per se. It's about maintaining a fraction, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's funny.
I see what you're saying.
like that.
Yeah.
It's still, some sort of relative.
Right.
We're like, man, where are my hands? Oh my God.
There you go.
So it's funny. So this is a funny thing. One joke is that at events, I always spill either my drink or someone else's drink, or I always drop food. Like I always do this, and like everyone,
I don't know what to
I
do
just
with
get
my
really
hands.
animated and really excited. There's always pictures from Mograph Mondays events of like me and like a motion blur, like all around, like my hands totally motion blur, or me motion blur because I'm like zipping around and like
You're a hummingbird.
Yeah, I am a hummingbird. At least at my events I am. So I have a question for you guys, like that's related to all this. Is like, okay, so like every time I plan a Mograph Mondays, or in like I get the speakers or I get the sponsors or whatever else, I'm like, oh, I'm glad that's planned for this month. Like, yay, okay. But then like, guess what? I have to do it again the next month. It's like these things, and like I have all these course projects in my head, and we're always gonna have projects going on and whatever.
Oh.
You froze right as the question was being asked.
Hold on, I'll set a marker. Hold on.
By the way, bottom price of the Mac Pro.
Come back.
There you are.
Okay, there you are. There you are.
What's funny is when I freeze or when it freezes, like I still hear you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I really wish I knew what's freezing, because like.
All right, I don't want you to lose that thought though, so keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. Everything keeps going, right? And it's all good stuff. Like, I love having these events going. And you guys are like, doing, Mograph.com and now Camp Mograph. Like, it's a huge thing. And it's like
a lot of time.
And you're like, but like, we have a tendency to think like, okay, I'll chill out when that's done, or when this project is done, like I'll chill out. But then you won't. Like, there's be another, and I'm like thinking, I have a project due at the end of this month, and like I'm stressed about it. But I'm like, I have a whole month of this. I can't be in the same state of being all month. There has to be like some So I'm just trying to navigate that realm now.
There's an article that
none
I
of
need
this
to
stuff's
find.
gonna stop.
Yeah, it's not going to stop there. In the Todoist blog.
Until you die. I
Yeah,
guess.
until you die. But the Todoist
You
blog
want...
actually had something this week, I think, about that feeling that someday your to-do list is just going to be done and you'll check the last thing off of it. That's never going to happen. That's not a thing that happens.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. I'll try to find a link to it.
You just keep on adding more and more things.
Yeah.
It's like when you think you keep on telling yourself, "Oh, I just need to buy this one last thing, and I'll be good to go."
Happy.
You know, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
I'll finally have happiness.
Mhm.
And then you buy that one thing, and you're like, "Whoa!" Then if I had this thing, I'd be much happier.
Yeah, Baker Street
you know?
Blues, your
It's the same-
favorite song, Matt. Baker Street Blues. Baker Street Blues.
that the one that-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one you
no,
love?
No.
He
Yeah.
always says just one more year and then you'll be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, one more project. Okay, one more event,
Mhm.
and then we'll call it, Yeah,
Mhm.
Dave was talking about, he was saying at once Camp Mograph is over, he's gonna take a vacation.
Yeah,
That's
not gonna
okay.
happen.
I get that. I totally get that.
No, you should. And,
Probably
I
won't.
travel a lot too. Like it's fun. You gotta.
My problem is that
Yeah.
as soon as I take that vacation, like if I did a staycation, like when we did the mental health day or whatever, I still sat in front of my computer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you just had fun.
That's
Like
true.
it's a real problem when your hobby is also the job that you do.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you hear people all the time say, do what you love and you won't work a day. No, if you do what you love, you'll work every day. And then
Yeah.
even when you don't want to work, you'll also be working. When you want to have fun, you'll also be working,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this industry and I would never want to leave it, and it is fun every single day. But like, yeah, turn your hobby into your job, but then what do you do for a hobby? You need to find a new hobby.
Well, I found a couple different hobbies that I think are at least get me away from my desk a little bit, like mountain biking and such. But
Yeah.
Oh, we lost. Oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are.
There you are. No, we're good.
That's wild. So yeah, don't do what you love and you won't work a day in your life is where you were, and that's what I heard. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
and it is
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, it is. Wow, I don't know why we're having these technical issues. Like I'm not going to be that
it's
person.
Skype. It's Skype.
It's
Skype is Skype.
But yeah, so yeah, do what you love, your work day, and like obviously this is all a huge part of my life. And Mograph Mondays, like I said, these are all my friends. It's more than just a networking meetup. It's like seeing my friends, and that's another thing people always say. They're like, hey, because it's hard to make plans as an adult, right? And most of our friends, are in the same career, so it's like, well, at least I know I'll see these people once a month, right? And at least I know this one day is when I'll catch up with everyone.
Yeah.
So that's been like super great.
Well, I got a couple links that I want to put into the show. However, we've talked about quite a few of them already, which is funny.
Yeah, I know, kind of all over the place, right?
Especially with
By
this
the way,
Mac stuff.
the starting Mac Pro price
Oh, boy.
is a 8-core. It's an 8-core Xeon, 32 gigs of memory. It's a Radeon Pro 580X, 250 gigabyte SSD
Okay.
for $6,000.
That would be $2,000 as a PC.
Yeah. $6,000.
Ugh.
I
then you
literally
have
can't
like
even.
I don't even know. Like
I
I'm
literally
curious.
can't even.
I'm curious if you're going to be able to put NVIDIA cards in this. I mean, it's saying AMD cards, but like, I mean, if it's got PCI slots, can you do NVIDIA cards?
You could buy 3 computers just like that as a PC.
Oh yeah, no,
for that
I totally
price.
agree.
So
I
stupid.
totally agree. So I'm curious what the 28-core computer is going to be.
I don't even want to know. All right, links. Let's do links. So we talked about Hit Film, talked about the new Mac Pro, because that just randomly happened. Last week, I somehow I missed this. Ash Thorpe came out with a new short or something on Vimeo.
Yeah.
It's called Passage. So check that out. There'll be a link. The one that I did want to show was this. It's not really. I don't think it's technically a meme, but it's just something that was on Reddit called "Emailing Like a Boss."
Okay.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because it's one of those things where like it's kind of a joke or whatever, but it's also kind of like, kind of true. And I'm gonna bring it up right here, and I'm guilty of doing a couple of these, but for the most part, I think I'm actually doing pretty well here. So instead of saying sorry for the delay, you say thanks for your patience. You know, it's about not admitting that you're wrong. You know, instead of saying what works best for you, you say could you do A, B, and C. Instead of saying no problem, no worries, you say always here to help. Just things that just kind of flip it a little bit. You know. So I'll put that in the show notes as well. Just like for example, just wanted to check in. I do say that a lot. You know, just wanted to check in on something. Instead, you say, when can I expect an update? And then I don't think it really says it in here, but like one of the ones for me.
I don't know. When can I expect an update? I don't really like that. I feel like just wanted to check in is much more.
It's much more friendly.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I totally just wrote that in an email.
Yes, I do that at least once a day.
I just emailed EJ with that phrase.
I think
because he gives us like his plugins to give away at Mograph Mondays, but he always emails the winners their codes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they got them yet. And sorry, I shouldn't be talking about that.
I've had to send him that email before, so you know it's whatever.
Just checking in. But I told you about just checking in. I hope that's. Oh, geez.
No, I mean this isn't like you know. And the one that's
I've probably told him that in person.
Right. Yeah. And the one thing that isn't on here, which should be on here, is per my last email.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I'm going to say that
I already wrote this.
Yeah, it's like per my last email. That basically is like passive aggressive for I already told you this and you didn't read.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, that's funny. So I'll put that in the show notes. But I believe, Matt, that now is time for you to use the restroom because we're going to do some Beeple's People.
Okay.
Unless you don't have to go.
No,
he's going to go.
I'll go grab myself a Coke real quick.
All right. You're going to miss the fun, but whatever. All right.
I never got to mention the our Mograph barbecue thing or whatever. Or is that later? Can we talk about
No,
later?
what is that? I think I missed that.
We can talk about Michigan community stuff more again later.
Yeah, what's the barbecue?
You gotta do your segments.
No, let's do that because after we do Beeple, we end up closing everything out. So
okay, that's it. Okay, yeah. So every year, Scott Warniak, who runs a studio called Lunar North here in Detroit, he does a Michigan Motion barbecue, and it's like an annual thing. So. He puts out this spreadsheet and puts out each word that's in the wording for the invite, like 6th annual Michigan Motion Barbecue, and then we all pick a word and we like animate that word and put it together. And he gives us like a start and end frame for each animation, so it just begins and lands on the same frame, and he gives us a color scheme, and then we all collaborate on it. So the latest one, we actually just had the barbecue this past Saturday. And the latest invite just came out. But this is like a great example of just how awesome our Detroit community is, because kind of every year, different groups of us, different ones of us come together and put this together. So this is another little thing I wanted to mention. I think I sent you a link to it.
How many people do that? Oh yeah, you did send me that. Here we go. This is the one. It
depends. Yeah, because like I worked on it. Like the word we worked on it as Boxford. Like a few of us from Boxford worked on it. Dave Holden, Justin Lemon, and I did. So yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, so it's so it's first word 6th. So it's all different styles. I don't remember how many people worked on each of them. Sometimes one person will do a whole word on their own. Other times, a group of people will work together. But it's cool because it's like a whole variety of styles and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could get that many people to do the monkey legs competition, let me tell you.
Well, this is like a smaller scale version of what you're trying to do with monkey legs.
I know. Come on, people. Give me some monkey legs already.
Yeah. But I like
that barbecue graphic.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, when it's a local community doing things like I mentioned this at Mograph Mondays, and like we all see each other, so it's way easier to like, put that in everyone's ear, right? This is the one that I worked on with Dave and Justin from Boxford.
Oh, that's great.
Our little thing there.
Yeah.
So it's super fun to collaborate. This all happened within like a week or so. We didn't have much time to get this one done, but it all came together. So it's like a fun thing. It happens every year, and just another example of how awesome our little community is here. That's the other thing I didn't get to say this about the city of Detroit is that I know that like the media, makes it sound whatever. And like, yeah, Detroit is not a huge city. Like, we're not like Chicago or whatever. Like, we're not there yet. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like whenever I'm downtown Detroit, like at least like in the more like city center area, when I'm walking around, I almost always run into someone I know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but it feels still like pretty big, like city, like at least the downtown city area. And we have our office at Corktown, which is like 5 minutes from the downtown area. It's like the Irish neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just feel like Detroit is like getting big enough to be like, more of a cool, like bigger city. Like I joke that there's like a new coffee shop like every week, basically. And there honestly is. Like there's new businesses opening up all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's cool. But yeah, it's still like small enough that like I run around into people all the time and meet people because like, I don't know, like people say like we have a crappy climate here, and yeah, our climate isn't amazing, but I don't know, the community is just like unbelievable.
Well, I'm guessing too when you were talking about rent, I'm guessing that there's some actually pretty decent places to get decent rent.
Oh yeah, like we have awesome cost of living, versus the amount of money, freelance rates and everything are all pretty good. So
I was gonna say, what is is the rate good enough to, or like better? Like say for example, if you're working in, sorry, I'm out of breath. I ran upstairs. Because the minimal amount of exercise wins.
Yeah,
me
that's
very
your
easily.
exercise for the day.
Yeah. Nah, dude, I ran a 5K this morning.
Oh yeah.
What up?
Oh
I didn't know you were running.
dude.
That's why your hair looks so good.
Right.
You were going so fast, it just went.
Yeah. No,
Got to go fast.
I was gonna say so say for like New York or something, a day rate there, you got to work a lot more because stuff's so expensive. Is like the day rate, the average day rate in Detroit, versus cost of living. Like, would you make more money living in Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know.
Yeah, possibly. I don't really know. I know the average rates for our area, but I don't really know how that compares to New York or LA exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that everyone's kind of talking about that online right now because
Mm-hmm.
it's really unclear. And me with everyone I know, we're all pretty honest about our rates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty open about it. But yeah, I would say for sure, like, I would say for sure that like you can if you have a similar rate than what people.
So we lost you again. I'll do marker. Do.
There you
Why
are.
does this keep happening?
I don't know.
Okay,
That's all right.
I don't get it. Okay. So I'm sure that like since our Detroit rates seem to be pretty good, like reasonable, for sure you can get way farther as a freelancer here. I would say.
Especially if you're someone who's already established in a bigger market, and you're doing
Yeah.
freelance and you just want to
If you want
move.
to relocate.
Gosh, it'd be so cheap. Keep your same client base and move there. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's totally a thing.
Well,
And I've been running into more people that even from like New York or LA, they're just moving here. I'm like, oh, what brought you to Detroit? Because like I always am like, oh, do you have family here or do you have friends here? Like, no, I just moved here. I'm like, really? Wow. So what's happening? It's a thing. We don't have mountains. No mountains here, and it's not that warm. But hey, we have other things.
if you like snow, you'll be happy.
Anyway, that was I just had a little more to put in there.
Yeah.
I know we gotta do people's and stuff.
Well,
so.
this is funny because Matt went all the way to the bathroom and came
Aw,
back. And we haven't
man.
even started
Sorry,
yet.
I sidetracked.
Ha.
I just had a couple little things to put in there, and I'm sure I have notes, and I probably forgot like a million things, but that's
All right.
fine.
Just have to
I'm
have
glad we
fun
got to
again.
talk about fun stuff.
All right.
Tim Cook ruined half of this.
Right.
I'm sorry. I
Tim
apologize.
Cook. No, but like I was interested too. No, it's not your fault. Well,
It's kind of your fault.
No, it's not
right?
your fault.
It's mostly
the
my
news
fault.
would have
I'm
would have
sorry.
reached us no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can't avoid
Yeah.
that.
The chat
Can't avoid
room.
half of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
you're
right.
not crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
people.
everybody, get out your Beeple viewer of choice, and we're gonna have some fun. Coming up with fake stories behind some of these things, but okay, here's the thing. It said May 29th on it, but I think it's technically May 28th. This is called super growth. So, first of all, got to do the obligatory show me what you got, but
Right. The giant head.
the giant head thing. But I think this is funny because I was Instagram the other day, and the very first comment on this was "Beeple's people," like all the lyrics to Beeple's
wow.
people. But
You've permeated the
Yep.
the internet.
the Beeple sphere.
Yep.
Yeah, the people here.
This is called super growth, and I'm guessing it's super growth because something's gone wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe this Beeple person, giant Beeple people, is a way like this on this planet. This is like a tree, you know, like, and those are fruit that they're harvesting.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, brain and eye fruit. Yeah, yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
I like the brain fruit salad. Yeah.
They're pimples.
Gross.
They're harvesting pimples.
Oh my god,
Ooh. I just shuddered a
that's
little.
really gross. Oh my gosh, they're gonna pop those things.
Yeah, but maybe
Yeah,
there's
see, I
something
mean, it's
good.
kinda like-
Maybe it's oxygen inside. Who knows?
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, it's something positive.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
Or it's like it looks like Vaseline though.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah.
But look, like, I
Ooh.
mean, they're like all over the ground and stuff. Like they've been falling like
Yeah, they
apples.
Yeah, I mean,
Pop
look,
out.
you know?
okay, here. Look at how dry the climate looks. Very dry
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
of course you need lots
Oh.
of moisturizer.
Yeah. This
Like,
is a
moisturize the
this
skin.
is a this is this planet's version of a cactus, right?
Yeah. So why the separation
This is Burt's Bees on this planet.
in the in the head? Like
Burt's Bees is harvesting this stuff right now. It's a Burt's Bees little rover
Right.
over there.
it's the Burt's Bees planet. There's a
Right.
there's a line that goes up the head to the like past the ear, where you see
Yeah.
a seam here, and I'm guessing like
Yeah.
maybe you can detach the head. Well, in reality, it's like, you know, people
The
was like,
UV.
I don't know, there's a UV there, I don't care. But I
Oh yeah,
think
I saw
that-
him do. I was at FITC with he did his live
Yeah.
at FITC and that was great. Funny.
I'm sure it's
Yeah, he's just
you
like
know.
fuck it, I don't want to deal with that.
Exactly.
Oh shoot.
Here's-
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So
So
yeah,
He says that all the time though. So anyway.
here's the thing. I was actually thinking about this the other day. And for as much crap as we give Mike for just saying, I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
and just like sometimes calling it in, like he really, it was this latest animation where he did like the toon shaded, like,
oh yeah.
walking robot
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like, and I was thinking to myself, for as much crap as we give him for, you know, just saying, I don't know, and whatever, he is a damn good artist.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He really,
Oh,
really is. 'Cause we've,
Oh boy.
oh boy.
I'm bringing his thing
Oh.
up, and everything has to autoplay nowadays. There you go.
Right.
But this is.
I mean, that's gorgeous. It
Yeah.
is a gorgeous piece of work.
Oh yeah. It is.
You know?
Yeah. And is
Well, I'm
this
not
Arnold?
critiquing him at all. No way.
No, I think it's.
He's amazing.
What has he
And
been
I'm
doing
happy I
with
got to
Toon
see his
stuff?
process
could be.
firsthand. No, I mean, just and also like he does it every day. Like of course,
It's
like
insane.
he puts out
I
great
know.
work all the time
Yeah.
while doing great stuff like the titles for FITC. You know, he's like doing
Yeah.
long form projects while doing this stuff. you know,
Right.
like-
Let's see.
Anyway, so
Uh,
enough about the scene.
Yeah, the next one is May 29th. This is called Cleansing Light. We actually didn't do the one that we just showed. But let me bring that one up. It'll take me a second here. I lost my place. Oh boy, I really lost my place. Come on, Beeple, where are you? Okay. It is called
Yeah, it's
Cleansing
people's fault.
Light. No, Twitter was
Cleansing
doing
Light,
something
yeah, I have
funky.
it up.
There we go. All right. This one,
Mm-hmm.
This is like a classic, kind of. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it is. It's just the random people in hoods.
Yeah.
Cleansing
Yeah,
light.
but this
though.
is.
And, you know, a center giant pillar of light and stuff. Yeah, that's very, it's very
Yeah.
people-esque.
What
The paint
is at
texture
the
on this
top?
is really amazing, though.
He's
Yeah.
been doing a lot of that lately, and sometimes
Yeah.
you don't even notice until you blow it up full.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
it's what I think it's just topaz, right?
Oh, is it?
Topaz
Might-
that he used.
Maybe.
Yeah. It just,
Um,
I mean, he goes through. He'll create it pretty well, you know, the way he wants, and then go through and just add a topaz filter in order to make it look a little bit more
mhm.
Mhm.
artsy or whatever.
Well, the question though is, what is at the top of this?
Um,
A pillar of light.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cleansing light. So, like, what is the cleanse that is happening when you get to the top here?
It's a juice cleanse, really.
Oh, that's
You know,
that's all it is. You get to the top
just-
and it's a
yeah.
multi-level marketing scheme.
It's you get to the top and it's a Jamba Juice.
They've been walking like you. What's sad is you don't see the underside of this. You don't see that they've walked up 8,000 stairs before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see the other side of it.
Yeah.
They get up there. Hi, welcome to Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
What can I get
Would you
you?
like some wheatgrass? Wheatgrass?
Well, I feel like maybe this is where they get the Vaseline from the previous one.
There you go.
There,
It's like
okay.
delivery. It comes down through this
Yeah.
tube like a bank teller tube.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's just like an energy bank teller tube, right?
Yeah.
Coming from the phone. That was on one of the moons of this planet, and that moon beams this energy down, and they use it to transport their Vaseline balls.
Oh, see? You got it. Next. I can't.
It all connects.
Yeah.
It's all connected. In the
Oh,
people
man.
card.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I'd ever hear the term Vaseline balls in my life.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's good. That's really funny.
All right. Well, I'm interested now to see
Oh,
how you tie all that into
uh,
the next one.
My kid asked me about this. I was going through my feed and he said,
Mhm.
"Ooh, what's that?" You know, because he thought it was real. I was like, "Oh, they're building an interdimensional teleportation."
Absolutely. That's
portal."
what this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it.
From
you
past
know?
Beeple experiences, this is definitely another portal being
Yeah,
constructed.
it's clearly construction of a new wormhole
Yeah.
generator.
The question
course.
is,
Yeah.
what goes through that? Is it Vaseline balls? Is it?
Obviously, it's Vaseline balls.
Is there a Jamba Juice on the
Yeah,
other
of
end?
That's what Jamba Juice is made of.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, the tastes,
Yeah,
the
okay,
tastes are
that's
similar.
That's
the
so
cleanse
smooth.
part. That's the cleanse part.
Ooh, that'll
right? You
cleanse
get
you.
your body inside
It-
nice and lubricated, and
Yeah,
it just
lubricates your
What?
intestinal
No,
tract.
that's
Great.
Visine when you ingest Visine, right? That's what happens.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but
I don't know.
that's yeah.
Oof.
Oh, that's
Who was
funny.
it that was telling me people used to do that at their?
I think it was Chelsea or EJ or
Somebody
something
was
like
talking
that.
about that. People,
Yeah.
oh man, as like to get
Anyway.
back at people, you put Visine in their drink. It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
And it causes some stomach
wow.
crampage.
Yeah. Well,
Dude.
yeah.
700 notifications on Slack
Oh god.
just for general during this.
Oh,
during the
God.
thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I know how I'm
Anyway.
spending my afternoon.
So much has happened. So much has
So
happened.
much.
Over these...
I know.
We're gonna have to
I
catch up.
know. We're different people now. You know, we've come
Yeah.
out
We've
strong.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to experience together with you guys. It's good.
Yeah. I think we're good. I think we figured out the Beeple's people for today. I don't think we can say much more
Yeah.
about that one. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I do want to
You had me
do.
at Vaseline balls, right?
Yeah. It's the secret of life.
Oh, boy.
I do want to do a quick email that somebody sent us. They were asking about animating things in Luminous, and I said yes, that is on the list of things for the next version of Luminous. And their question is, when is that going to be? And my answer is, I don't know.
I don't.
I'm trying to desperately get to
Eventually.
that, but eventually. So, what I want to do now is Brograph recommends, where we go through and
Mograph recommends.
gosh, I do that every time. You know
You
what?
forgot your name.
I still
time.
haven't changed my template. I'm going to do it
That has
right
to be
now.
hard, yeah.
I'm going to do it right
Remember.
Do
now.
it right now.
Mograph, because I copy and paste my old template every week, and I just never changed that. All right, it's changed. Mograph recommends. So, the first question on the list is, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. Why can I not think of that? There's too many movies I like. Favorite movie.
Or it could be even like if it's a recent favorite or something, not necessarily favorite of
what's
all
a recent?
time, you know.
Oh my gosh. Man, I've just been watching more TV lately than movies. What did I watch? I'm so bad. I always do this though. I always like forget like what I just did like the past weekend or something.
I have so many movies I want to see right now, but I never go to the
I
movies.
know.
That's my problem. I end up just
I know
waiting.
I really go too. What did I watch? What was it called? Oh my gosh.
What was
I'll
it
just pass
about?
on that one.
Oh, you passed? Okay.
I don't.
Well,
I'll pass. So
then we'll go
yeah,
to
I'll talk
TV
about
shows
something.
then. What
Yeah,
TV
TV
shows?
shows.
Hey, real quick,
Uh,
just speaking of movies, I want to throw this because we occasionally talk about deep fakes on the show. Dave, I'm sending you this link. Go to about like a minute into it. They took Sylvester Stallone's face and put him on Arnold Schwarzenegger's body from Terminator 2.
All right.
So amazing. All right, sorry. Anyway,
Am I gonna get flagged?
you might.
Okay. Well, let's see. Well, I guess not if it's a deep fake, right? So
Yeah, you probably need to go to like about a minute or a minute 20. Yeah, go to a minute 20.
Oh, okay.
See, this was the joke because that was from, Last Action Hero.
I don't remember.
But like
this.
they actually did like a pretty good job.
Now, is it a deep fake or is it a?
It's a deep fake because you can tell by the lighting and everything.
You can tell by the pixels.
You can tell by the pixels.
And the fact that I've seen some shoops in my time.
Some shoops? Is that what they call them?
But he's.
Hey, hold on.
Oh yeah, okay. Wow, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I need to just do some deep fakes just to see what the process is like. I'm interested to see like how much time it actually takes to pull something like this off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a side shot there where I feel like it didn't work so well.
Yeah. There are parts that like are great and parts that aren't so much.
I mean, I've seen Terminator 2 so many times, it's ridiculous.
Same here. I freaking love that movie.
Yeah. So those are my favorite movies. The original RoboCop and Terminator 2 are like two of my biggest favorite movies.
Well, see, there you go. There you got your movie.
RoboCop.
But also, while you were looking at the deepfake, I realized what my favorite recent movie was.
Oh, okay.
What's funny is it's called The Favorite.
What's
the name of the movie is The Favorite.
I haven't heard of
The
this.
Favorite, but like spelled like British, like Favorite.
Oh, fancy like.
It's not that recent. It was 2018 it came out, but I saw it. So it's period piece, 18th century. Emma Stone is in it. It's just super duper weird. So you'd look at it from the outside and maybe a trailer and you think like, oh, this is like a typical period piece, Downton Abbey sort of situation, whatever. Whatever. But it's like, it's really like weird and dark and creepy and like, I don't know, you just got to watch it and really funny. Like they took a period piece and they shot it kind of weird. They had like some weird shots that look like GoPros, like really wide angle lens sort of things. Even though the costumes and stuff and the setting is like amazing.
Pretty elaborate, yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's a really interesting take on a period piece. And it just ends up being really funny and kind of, it's funny in a dark way though.
Yeah.
What year was it again?
I'm looking at the trailer. It looks
2018.
2018. Yeah. Okay.
But like watching the trailer and stuff, I think you might just think, oh, this is like another period, typical like sassy queen period piece or something like that. But I don't know. But like it's interesting. So yeah, and the Queen Anne from that time, she's a really interesting person that I read up on later. So check it out. The Favorite.
Cool.
I like Emma Stone.
Recent favorite movie. Yeah, I love
she's
Emma Stone. Yeah,
excellent actress.
For sure.
What about?
All right, so we can continue.
What about music?
Oh, music. Well, kind of like whatever my Spotify weekly is. A lot of.
I'm with you on that.
A lot of like, synth pop type of stuff. Stuff I work to. Obviously, like if you take a Tycho song and do play song radio, whatever comes up from that, I love it. I've been playing a little bit with electronic music lately, so that's been kind of my thing.
Me too.
Is there music going on like at Box Fort while y'all are working?
Yeah, usually there's a little like Google Home, the big Google Home speaker, which sounds really awesome, by the way. That Billy bought for us.
You know what? Yeah, you know what doesn't sound awesome is the leaf blowers pushing around the grass from one side of the street to the other behind me. It's been going on for the last 5 hours for some reason. So I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't know why
we can't hear it.
I'm like blanking on these questions you're asking me. I'm like, what is the deal? Oh, I know. So okay, and this band called Dad D/A/D. I freaking love it.
Wait, seriously? It's called Dad?
Yeah, it's called Dad.
Oh,
I'm gonna type in the chat. Like,
That's what
my
Dave
DJ
calls
name.
his electronic. That's
but
his
it's
DJ
it's
name.
D-A and then
What?
backwards D.
Yeah.
Oh, but look in the chat. This is
Oh,
Skype
man.
chat I just sent you. D/A/D.
I feel like I'm gonna have to
I didn't mean to
rethink
rain
my
on your
name.
parade, but I love their music. It's just like,
Wow. But they're
synth pop
EDM?
band.
Or no?
No, they're all. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you define EDM, but I guess they're more like synth pop, but it's like
Okay.
yeah, like 80s retro-ish sort of.
Okay, so
I love
not
it.
exactly like. Okay, cool.
EJ just texted me. He said, "Next podcast, me punching people in the face for people crapping on Mac users."
Okay, we can battle
But
it out. That's
they
fine.
still didn't deliver, EJ. So
Where's the Nvidia cards, dude?
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll text him back too later. All right, podcast. What do you like to listen to podcast wise?
I've been listening to more audiobooks than podcasts lately. I would say
Mhm.
podcasts though. Motion Hatch. I definitely like Haley Aiken's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as far you were talking about like accounting earlier on the show, and I was going to mention it, but she's been really focused on that sort of thing. And they've been doing a lot of series about financial side of things. And I think that's really good because it's like a lot of just it's a nice different take on things that isn't just Mograph hype stuff. I mean not whatever. I mean, I just like a different take on things. So I like her.
And what's your favorite plugin?
What is my favorite plugin? Oh my gosh, probably I'm Rift. I mean, the A script Rift.
I don't think I know that
What
one.
is that?
Oh, it's just for sequencing layers. It's one of the AE scripts for sure. The Rift.
Like it pushes layers a certain distance?
Yeah, or so you have 10 layers. You want them to come in, one frame after each other, and you sequence them.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I
So
need
this
that.
does that for you, but it doesn't not just so you can do it like, hey, sequence these 10 layers over 10 frames linearly. But you can also do an ease on it. So literally, like you'll see your layers in the timeline and the endpoints. will be going up.
Cool.
I mean, I use that on every project, like in After Effects, if it's a type animation sort of thing or UI. I'm using Rift all the time.
That's awesome. That's a cool plugin.
Yeah, Rift is great.
How much is
Also,
it?
I don't
$30.
know.
30
Yeah,
bucks?
like every AE script.
Also
But
what?
AE Scripts often sponsors Mograph Mondays and gives us scripts to give away. So.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah, so Rift, and then for C4D, it's X Particles currently, just because
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
the system with that.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like when it comes to fluid sims, everything I see people doing with Houdini is like always way better than I think is possible with X Particles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I get that.
But
Yeah.
I've been pushing X Particles, seeing what I can
Yeah.
do with it. So.
I love X particles, but I wish the fluid stuff was a little bit quicker. Anytime it
Yeah.
comes to fluid, I always hop to real flow.
Oh yeah, I haven't used
Mhm.
RealFlow, but I know I follow. Who is that? Kate Alisi. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She does a lot of real
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, I love
yeah,
it.
no, that stuff looks great. So yeah, with X Particles, like you have to use the filters on the Open VDB mesher a lot. If you tweak those enough, you can get I just like that the tools are there to do all that and to build
Yeah.
the system and
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things where particles are in one area and they transfer to another area and you can easily like move them around and make them flock and like that's all fun. So
And what about headphones?
headphones.
Oh, sorry.
these-
Rift is name your own price. It's not.
Oh,
$30.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have the
That's pretty awesome.
AKG K7XX, which was like a mass drop thing, like a special edition version of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what the equivalent is right now, but it was like the K7XX, so whatever the equivalent is of that. But I love them. They're like so cushy, and it's like an auto, like the headband. You don't adjust it; it just like automatically adjusts.
Oh,
It's
that's
super
cool.
comfy. These are actually open ear headphones, so
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're only good for an environment where you don't want to totally isolate. But I kind
Right.
of like it because even if I'm at Boxford or something, like I can still hear what everyone's saying, but the music and sound from these is so good. So.
Cool.
In addition to that, I just want to mention the headphone amp I use is the FIIO E10K. This guy here, this little guy.
And does it have multiple
has
outputs? Is that why you use that, or?
No, it's just a cleaner audio sound, just like a little mini USB audio interface, and it has a bass boost on it. And I feel like it just makes even the Apple earbuds I'm using right now. Hey, Apple earbuds. These are the old in-ear ones. Even like with earbuds, I feel like it sounds so much better with like a clean headphone amp output. So those two combined
Cool.
with the headphones are really good.
Now the next one is kind of.
Man, this is. Sorry. All right, we'll go
Okay.
through this, but there's some stuff I want to talk about after this because Otoy's talking about the Mac support,
Oh.
boy.
Okay. Cool.
like actually in the
Alright.
Slack. He's in the audience right now in our
Oh my
Slack
gosh.
talking.
Are you
about their
serious?
Support.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
isn't that
Wow.
hilarious?
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, we'll bring that up. But let's finish this. Favorite website or Chrome extension, or we add it to that app. It might make it easier now. What's your favorite app? Like phone app or something?
Favorite phone app? Chrome extension. Well, actually, okay. So I do actually have a funny kind of Chrome extension favorite right now, which is like it's something that shouldn't even be necessary. But so we have our Michigan Slack thing, and we created a new channel for jobs, right? And what the problem is, like, there isn't some way to invite everyone to a new Slack channel, unless you know of one. When you make a new Slack channel in your Slack, you can't, like, everyone isn't just added to it automatically.
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah.
But there is like a Chrome extension called Slack Invite All.
Oh, that could be
And
dangerous.
It's like $2. But like what's funny is it'll invite everyone. And what's funny is how it like automates it. It's like you actually see it actually does it in Chrome, and like you watch it happen. Like you see it type in every name somehow. It automates it. And it invites your whole Slack thing to a new channel.
I'm gonna start
Yeah.
a channel and invite everyone there.
Yeah, what is it? I think it's called Invite All. It's just like Slack Invite All Chrome extension. And that it seems silly like that. You think that should just be an option in Slack.
Yeah, you would think so.
But I found it to be very useful.
Yeah.
Because I needed it for that specific thing. Oh, did I go away again?
Well, we hear you this
hear
time.
you.
This
You
time
hear
you're
me,
just
but I
frozen.
I think that's
My face.
Dave's side. Dave, I think that's on your side.
This time you're merely
Okay.
frozen.
So you hear me, but my face is just frozen. Okay,
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I'll try a little refresh here. So let's talk about life hack. What is your favorite life hack?
Okay. Wow, I wish the come on back video, please.
Here we go.
Please come back. Come back
Yeah.
to me. I might need to show.
Oh, well,
my
you're
hands.
moving on my side again, so I'm pretty sure I'll see you come up here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So my life hack. Okay, well, this is funny. So I drink
There
a
we
lot
go.
of LaCroix.
Mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
drink a lot of LaCroix in this house. You know, we love it. So what's funny, we moved in this house, and at the closing, like we knew there was like an extra fridge in the basement, like plugged in, you know, it's on. And at the closing, we just assumed they would take that fridge away or whatever. And at closing, they were like, "Oh no, you can have it." Like, "Oh really? A second fridge?" And we thought we don't need a second fridge. Like that's dumb. Like second fridge, it's
Mistake.
so excessive. Whatever. Well, actually, we're vegetarian, but anyway.
Okay.
But then one of our friends was like, "Oh yeah, you use it to put a watermelon in, whatever." Like, "Oh okay." But anyway, we drink a lot of LaCroix, so over time, this fridge has just become the LaCroix fridge. So it's just full of tons of LaCroix. So yeah, first part of this life hack is have a second fridge because it's awesome. Right?
I am right there with you. We've
Now,
got
like,
a
how do I
Diet
live without a
Coke
second
fridge
fridge,
out in our
Okay, you
garage.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one issue though is when you buy a lot of LaCroix, you have all these cans and these boxes, and you have to transfer them into the fridge. So for a while, we were just like pulling out each can and putting them in there and whatever,
Yeah.
you know, one by one. And then I'm like, well, okay. Then I was like, wait, there must be a better way. So I spent some time and thought about it. So yeah, so open up one side of the box and stick that into the fridge, right? You slide it in and right side up. And then you open up the other side of the box and you just push your hand through and you just push all the cans in at once.
Yeah. But what happens when you buy the big cases from Costco? Because that's what I do.
The ones that had the
Plastic and everything.
Yeah,
on it.
the things the rings that choke the animals in the ocean.
Yeah, I guess.
Which with those,
No, they don't
I
have
was-
the rings.
Oh, really?
It's the big shrink wrapped, like 36 packs.
But don't they have like two? I buy
I
ones that
haven't
have like
seen
two
those.
boxes in them.
I don't know.
The
All right.
lime ones? Do you mean the lime ones? that-
Oh, never mind. Because
Costco?
I'm talking Diet Coke. I'm not talking LaCroix.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
See, this life hack only works for LaCroix. Yes, technically it probably
Okay.
could be applied to
Okay.
other cans and other boxes.
Yes.
Other beverages that are canned in boxes, but I've only tested it with LaCroix, so I can only speak to that.
Gotcha.
But that's my life hack.
That's good. That's a
Cool.
good life hack.
It's pretty awesome.
That was the last one. That's it.
All right.
All right. Now.
Okay, Matt, what's going on with
Okay,
Mac and
so
whatever?
Otoy was put on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and so Nick Scarcella asks, so how far along are we on the Mac Pro certified Octane version? And Jules said very far, like Star Trek II by the book far. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
And so then metal support coming soon is what it means. Yes, I need to clear what I can share, but full Octane X, full Octane written from ground up in metal coming to iPad and Mac this year.
iPad.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that
As
mean?
XB, like you'll be able to run.
You can use it as a
Octane.
node. It actually does have a fairly decent small octane bench score.
Yeah.
So
more
Okay.
info in PR and forum soon. I'm still in the keynote audience.
all right. So this is great. We have our live correspondent on the floor from the keynote.
Yeah, our live correspondent. Who
I have
is-
at
yeah.
WWDC.
Okay, so Gurnge asked if you can comment on the cross-compatibility between CUDA and the metal builds that will be very beneficial, i.e. work on metal, then farm to CUDA machines with the same scenes, blah, blah. Jules said, it'll just work. Pixel perfect parity and net render between mixed devices / platforms even works even with the iPad included. So I'm assuming that means like you'll be able to use, NVIDIA machines, AMD machines, your iPad in order for render nodes and
Right.
stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what we're going to need to do is see if we can actually get Jules to come on and actually talk to us about this, hopefully pretty
Seriously.
soon. I think we have a slot in 2 weeks we might try and get him in on. We do have, by the way, coming up next week, Nosworthy.
Yeah.
Nosworthy. And then we've been talking to Casey Upkey's going to come on, and Chris Schmidt will be on in 2 weeks as well. Got that in my notes here.
Right.
But yeah, we need to try and get Jules. Maybe he can come on that week that we still have free there and talk about all this madness. Because now this is going to be the thing. Well, should I still get this Mac now that it's a possibility? And my answer
So
is
you told us what the entry level price was, Matt. What was
I don't
like-
know.
Okay,
I didn't
so it's fine.
see.
I
If
thought you
anyone
said it was
knows-
$6,000.
$6,000 for the entry level price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
for
yeah,
the
well,
big
then-
one?
lower level.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
With 32
I-
gigs of RAM. Like, what
Yeah.
if we need 64? Something
Yeah,
PC has.
I don't know. Someone said it was. What, am I wrong in saying that it was 1.5 or 1.5 terabytes of RAM or memory or something? I don't know.
Oh, I saw
Anyway.
that screen. I don't know what that was referring to, but there's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of questions. We'll kind of sort through it this week and see what comes up. But people, again, like EJ's texting us right now. It's like, see, look, you can get a Mac Pro now because
Yeah, I
it
mean,
supports
here's the
OTOY.
thing,
It's like, yeah, but
like-
it's still 3 times the price.
Yeah.
Like, why?
and when will they update again? And like,
I don't
how
know.
upgradable is it?
New Mac Pro will be available in fall of 2019. We don't know the exact date. As for when we'll see the release date, we'd put our money on the iPhone 11 event in September. This is just people. This is a website. Mac Pro price. Come on. Thank you. I don't care if you do my cookies. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know. It's interesting.
We'll
Like,
have to clarify it all.
here's the
and
thing.
get a-
like
yeah.
if it could handle NVIDIA cards, sweet, awesome. I would consider buying one.
Yeah, I might too. Like if it's no, I wouldn't because of the price.
I mean,
I wouldn't
I just-
because of the price, but if it
Yes,
were the
but,
same
like,
price,
look-
I would do it because then my main machine could have a really sweet, awesome interface and Finder and everything else, and I could keep running all my PCs, for
Yeah, you can run
Render
Logic.
Farm, all of that. Right. But at this point, it's like I've already moved everything over. I've figured out
Yeah.
a different way to do everything, and I
Yeah.
really just don't care at this point because I'm in Cinema
Yeah,
and
see,
After
Billy says
Effects.
no NVIDIA driver support.
No,
Yeah.
I
there's
have
not.
a feeling though. I mean, like,
No, it's going
if
to
they
run
could
on
get a
Metal,
card- all right.
Redshift, and
I don't know.
OTOY.
I feel like well, how much reason is there to switch to a Mac? I guess if you just really love the OS at this point.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
only
you're
reason.
Like if you're
basically
already
paying-
on a Mac and
paying-
don't want to switch, that makes sense.
And you have
but, like,
expendable
I can't
income.
imagine going back.
Yeah, you're paying the premium price for the operating system.
But that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm like, what else does it offer? Is it really, like, is it like?
Oh.
we lost you again.
Marker.
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 Will be a big edit this week.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
There we go.
There you
There
are.
we go.
why does it keep?
Okay,
it's all right.
Right. I was
don't
just
know.
saying. So yeah, it's the OS only. It's like, unless the PC itself is beyond computing power is way beyond anything possible with the build your own PC right now. But I'm sure that's not true.
Yeah.
How could it be?
All
All
right.
right then.
Well, okay.
We'll do our homework. We'll get back with everybody.
I'm sorry I took everyone away from your Apple obsession for a
Nah.
while. You can
Nah,
go
this is a
to
good
that
show.
soon now.
Good
Yeah.
show.
This
talking to the
this Mac Pro thing is like the thing that's been on every motion designer's mind for like it seems like years at this
course.
point. So everybody's freaking
We
out.
just happened to be timed with the same
Yeah.
thing going on. So, but thanks for having me. I was super glad you had me on here. I know like you didn't really know who I was that much, so I'm glad you.
Yeah, thanks for being on. We're really excited to hang out with you IRL at Camp Mograph in October. So
yeah, that'd be super fun.
But we're gonna see you before that. Half res.
Yeah. Half res.
Are you going to Seagraph?
No, I'm probably not going.
No Seagraph. Okay, cool. And then what else?
You guys.
We're not going to Blend. We're not going to some of those, but yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about
Half-Res.
after Camp Mograph.
Yeah. After Camp Mograph, I'm going.
If y'all
want to
pick up Camp Mograph tickets, they're still available.
Yeah.
We got cabins, we got single campers, we got tent tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You choose.
Come on
Choose
out.
your own adventure.
Come on
Bring
out.
your own tent if you don't want the cabin. But...
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. You could rate us on iTunes, leave a review. You can also subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice. Helps get our ratings up. We got a newsletter out there if you'd like to join that. And you could say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb, Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. And then the Render Things hoodie and tee and long sleeve shirt. And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, Mograph.com, all the things. And Julie, where can people find you on the interwebs?
JulieCraft.tv is my site, and then my Instagram is @Craftmatic, CRAFTMATICK, and then also check out Instagram Mograph Mondays Detroit.
Cool.
Twitter also for both of those, Twitter and Instagram.
For those who also tweet.
Yeah, and if you're interested in like starting a Mograph Mondays chapter in your area, be sure to talk to me. I have some advice I can give you and some support, and you can be part of the team.
Yeah.
We're growing a little bit as a little group. Everyone who leads in Mograph Mondays, we do little group video chats and everything.
What's the best?
Talk about how to improve things.
If somebody is going to wants to send you a message to specifically ask you about something like that, what's the best way to get a message through to you?
Just email me, I guess, at julie@juliecraft.tv.
Cool.
Would be best because I'm on various Slacks, but I'm on the Mograph Slack and the MDA Slack and whatever, all the Slacks. So hit me up on Slack if you're on one of those, but otherwise just email me. That's fine. I'll respond. Or you can email mographmondays@gmail. That's a thing too.
Cool. Matt, you're slowly getting blurrier and blurrier.
Weird.
Is that your camera or is that you?
There we go. That's my camera. No, I am physically turning blurry.
Yeah, I thought you were the dude from the what was that movie with
your hair's getting blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
did you smear Vaseline on your camera?
Yeah.
Vaseline balls.
Did a Vaseline ball explode on your camera?
Yeah. There's a movie like that.
Man,
It was a gosh, who did the movie? The one guy. The guy who he married his daughter and remember he married his daughter, plays the clarinet. What's his name?
Woody Allen?
Woody Allen. He had a movie where there was a guy who was blurry.
Oh, really?
I think it might have been Robin Williams. I can't remember who it was. He was like blurry all the time. It was funny. They had to roto all that. All right, well, we're going to get out of here.
All right.
We already said all the things. So, again,
all the things, yeah.
Julie, thank you so much again for being on, and we'll see you soon.
It's fun.
I'll see you and everyone at Camp Mograph.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Until next week, I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
I'm Julie.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Later, yo.
All right. We are still live.
Freaking Mac Pro.
Mac Pro.
Live for a second. Oh my gosh. My internet speed is full speed. I have no idea why.
I will tell you, it is a pretty machine. It is a pretty machine.
It does look. Yeah. It's a very pretty cheese grater. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole top comes off, it slides off, and that's how you open it up.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't pay